Shields up, Ironbreakers, and welcome to another edition of the Third Fleet Podcast. I'm here with Gaijin Hunter. Today we're going to be talking about all things that have been happening around the Monster Hunter franchise, which there's quite a bit of news, but first and foremost, how are you doing, Gaijin?
I'm doing good. I see you had a little pep in your step, probably because Gunland's been eating good with the updates, but no, these are good. Just calm me down. You know that whole September is a busy month, so
Yeah.
we're finally getting out of summer here. It's starting to get a little cool. Thank God.
I'm actually giving serious consideration to taking a bit of a break from content creation because it's just been absolutely insane. It's just like game after game after game after game after game, and I'm just like, bro, I need some time to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do this. You see this? It's not Gunpla, but it's almost like Gunpla.
That doesn't pay the rent though, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's like, listen, I haven't had any breaks. I haven't had any breaks for the longest time. And
What
I'm
you
just
need
like,
to do.
I need to stop. I need to stop. It needs to end for at least a week, maybe two, something like that. I need to like chill.
What you need to do is you need to go crazy over 3 days, make a catalog of stuff that'll come out in those 2 weeks, and then take the 2 weeks. Don't just go dead for 2 weeks because YouTube will just throw you away.
YouTube has already thrown me away regardless with the most recent AI implementations that they've been doing, which is absolutely insane. And they're like, oh, we didn't change anything. We didn't change anything. And I'm like, that's funny. I could swear I wasn't bleeding about 300 subscribers a month last month for no reason. It's been insane on the YouTube side of things, but yeah, it is what it is. We've gotten quite a bit of news when it comes to Monster Hunter. You've gotten to go to Tokyo Game Show.
Oh yeah.
How was Tokyo Game Show? Like, what did you do while you were out there? Talk to me through the experience, because like, I'm familiar with Gamescom. I'm familiar with E3. I've always preferred the Gamescom model where they have like a separate thing for business and a separate thing for like, you know, the general audience and whatnot, because you get to go to the general audience area and just have a blast, meet the community and all that. And then when you want to do like the other stuff where you're doing either interviews or you're doing like demonstrations, there's a different area for it. Is Tokyo Game Show organized like that as well or no?
Probably it's a little different. Yeah, it's probably. I mean, Tokyo Game Show is all about meeting your friends in the industry, right?
Okay.
And that's the joy of it. So they have like business day for the first 2 days, and then they, anybody who's related to the gaming industry, and then they have public days. I will never go. I've been to public day once, and I'll never do that again. That was like a decade ago.
Jesus.
It's just mobbed. Yeah, it's mobbed. And it takes a while to get out there because it's not in Tokyo. It's in Chiba. The very first one was in Tokyo, and that's why they just call it Tokyo Game Show, but then they moved the venue, and it hasn't been in Tokyo for ever.
Interesting.
But it's
still
a really
called
big
the Tokyo
place.
Game Show, though.
Yeah, the Chiba Game Show don't have the same ring, does it?
No, not really.
So it's a really huge venue, so it takes like a good hour and a half to get out there. Then it's packed, so it takes about an hour once you get out the station just to walk, line up, get through all the lines to check in. The first day is atrocious. Like, I arrived.
You're talking like the first day where they're doing business stuff is atrocious?
Well, first, business day, again, is the first 2 days, but you may as well just call it a regular show. Yeah, the first 2 days are bad because the first, everyone who's wanting to go on Friday are going to go on Thursday to check in. So, like, just trying to get in and get your ticket checked and get your little thing that goes across your neck saying,
the lanyard.
I belong here, is nuts. So, like, I woke up a little late, and I was late getting out of the house. So I didn't arrive until 10:15 in the morning, which is still really early, and the show opened at 10. And by 7 minutes after that, there was the announcement that all the playtime tickets had been handed out for Outlanders, and that's it. Like and also like World Omega, you can't play. It's like if you didn't line up at 9 a.m. an hour before the venue even opened, you weren't playing anything. Basically,
it sounds like Silk Song at Gamescom. Like I didn't even try. I was like, nope, not even gonna try.
Well, you're outside. And we're like huge amount of people. So it took about 45 minutes, I think, just to, like, I was at the venue just to get in the door. 45 minutes of waiting and then, just all check-in and all that. So you get in and it's just like it's like any other convention hall, right? Like it's just I guess E3, I've only been to one, but it's like you just got a shit ton of booths all lined up across 3 or 4 different halls, and it's just a flood of people, and you just, you got your booth babes and booth, what do you want to call them with the guys? But
Husbandos?
Beefcakes, I don't know. Yeah, not
Booth,
beefcakes either.
booth waifus and booth
very
husbandos.
Yeah, and husbandos, yeah. And then,
Wouldn't in
you
Japan,
try to get close to look at stuff.
I figured that like Japan culture, you said beefcakes. I'd be like, wouldn't Japan culture be more like twinks? I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, the femboys. Very feminine ways. Not very classic, Conan the Barbarian types or anything like that, so...
So we're gonna dive deep into like Stories 3 and Outlanders, but just give me like a quick outlier of all the things that you watched while you were out there.
I mean, it's just like Tokyo Game Show is a lot of just walking around, grabbing whatever freebies they have at each booth, getting the pamphlets, seeing the games just on the screen, seeing people play them, play a few games, go to the indie section where they've got the really good games. Try out a few, talk to some creators, and then they got the big store area. You buy a bunch of merch, and then you say, "I'm tired. I'm going home."
Yeah, but
then you have after parties with industry peeps. That's pretty much it.
But that's exactly what I was asking. Like, what are specifically the games that you wanted to go see, that you ended up seeing while you were there? Besides
the
stuff
main
that
thing
we're
I
gonna
wanted
talk
to
about.
see the main thing I wanted to see that I didn't get to see is the thing that I didn't know I wanted to see. And it's a weird thing to say.
It always do be like that.
I remember the last time I was genuinely surprised at an E3 was way back when there was X Troopers from Capcom's booth. It's a game that I didn't even know about.
That's the one that's kind of like EDF, right?
I don't know EDF, but it's
Okay.
it's the Japanese sort of manga take on Lost Planet. It was on 3DS, and I believe PlayStation had a version as well. And they never localized it, and it was such a good game. And it's like one of those games where I never heard of it. I was able to play it because there was like nobody lining up too much, and it was just like stole the show. And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! And I became a huge fan, played it to death, and it was great. But so I was looking for like what's out there that I don't know to look for, and there was just a bunch of Genshin clones. I say that in a very rude way, but
As
what
you
I mean
should,
is like
that's the
like,
proper way of saying it in the rudest possible way. You should just call it. There's a bunch of gotcha slop out there. Just let them know. Just let them know, Gaijin.
These I just can't tell the difference because they literally share the same aesthetic.
They all look alike.
All of the girls are like, perfectly proportioned, very sexy, but they don't seem to have anything. I swear to God, I've seen this one character on 3 other booths, but I'm sure they're all very different. But
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's just, it's the big
gotcha slop,
right? So
yeah, got him.
I mean, good for them. I mean, they're doing their thing. And then the one booth that was mobbed, and I didn't even get close to it, but there's that. I want to say it's a Chinese developer. But they're making basically like the sort of how could I not be rude today? I don't know how the rip-off GTA game, anime game.
Oh, I know which one it is. Ananta or something like that.
Yeah,
I think that's the name.
I
thought that was hilarious. It was hilarious because I saw the character. I saw like only a couple of snippets of that, and I saw the main character do this move.
You know exactly where they're pulling it from.
Where its hands stretch out, and it looks like venom, and I was like, "What's that?" And it's like slams it down. It's like I could swear I've seen that in Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Like that exact animation. Like what's going on? That's a little bit weird, but all right.
I do admit I don't want to get deep into this. I just want to throw out the comment because I'm feeling
spicy,
venomous. Yeah.
It's
just I find it a little hypocritical that people are all online screaming, "Oh my God, they lifted the animation straight from Spider-Man, and this is lifted from that." It's the exact same keyframes, like, oh my god. I'm like, and yet when it comes to Pal World ripping off some things of Pokemon, even though the rest of the game is unique, they're like, people are like, hey man, it's free use this, use strive
No,
for creativity. I'm like, guys, you can't rip on one and not the other.
no, I don't.
It's the things when you copy something frame for frame, it's lazy.
Yeah, but
And
it's
you're
like
trying to call attention to it, and you're using someone else's IP to sell your own, and that's just sleazy. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say that they copied the Pokemon stuff frame for frame. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Like I've seen people post
Some
the
of those
models.
designs are like,
Yeah, I've seen people post the models, and the person who posted the models then admitted, "Well, I changed them a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, okay." You changed them a little bit to make it seem like it was blatant plagiarism. All right.
but because they want people to pay attention, right? And it gets the eyes on it, so it's like you can't claim that they're not doing.
I mean,
it
it is absolutely inspired the same way that Pokemon is inspired by Dragon Quest.
Yes, but I'll say there's 5-letter word that immediately told me, yeah, this game. I mean, I'm not interested in those types of games to begin with. But then I read online that the alpha or preview or whatever they had of it, the game is like 250 gigabytes or something. I'm like, yep, not for me.
250 gigabytes
or something like that, or 200. It was over 200. I'm like, nah, man.
That seems like it's hella optimized. What are you talking about? That's
Yeah,
like more than the
right?
Call
Like
of
these
Duty games. What the hell? I mean,
Yeah, I don't
it
know,
might
but
just
that-
it
I'll
might
say
just
the
be
interest was
massive,
there.
but yeah. Yeah, but I've
And then,
seen a lot
just-
of clips come out of that game for sure. It's definitely got a lot of people's attention. We'll see what that ends up doing.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm kind of
Yeah,
like,
we can jump in and talk about Capcom stuff if you want, though, because that's the main stuff that I really saw.
okay. Well, if we're gonna do that, I'd
But-
rather us start with
yeah,
Savage
yeah.
Omega, because
Yeah, let's do that.
So
But yeah, I will talk about everything at Tokyo Game Show in regards to Monster Hunter.
yeah, all the Monster
But as
Hunter
far
stuff.
as all the other games, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about. However, there was I really wanted to play it, but somebody was at the booth talking to the creator or whoever it was, and I didn't get to play it. But I got to look over the shoulder and see that indie game. It's the one with like the crazy train, like on rails that you can jump and zoom around and stuff. God, what's the name? Densha Attack or something like that.
I have no
It's
idea.
an indie game of like
Never heard of this.
Yeah, it's like a train going on the rails and you're jumping around and flying. It's awesome. It's like, I don't know how else to describe it, but I think Densha Attack is the name. It looked amazing, so yeah, check that out.
Always like seeing some of those indie games that just take stuff completely off the rails, which I think is an appropriate term.
I mean, they're the most gamey games, right?
Gamey
I like
games,
that
yeah.
are not trying, like they have one or two core concepts and they just do them well or differently, right? They don't try to like add in too many features, and it's fun. You get a lot of progress that way because people are able to experiment on ideas better.
I'm curious, considering that we're talking about indie games. Let's just briefly mention something that is the complete opposite. Have you seen Ghost of Yotei?
No, I mean,
okay.
I haven't been looking. I mean, I was never interested in that game from the start. So I mean, it's just not my cup. I don't do the human on human like violence. It's just not interesting for me. I've heard the first game was amazing. I'm sure people are eating well and enjoying the second game. I did read somewhere online the typical like some people were saying it was great. Some people were laying into it for being too much like the first. And I'm like, well, if the first game was amazing, then being like the first is not a bad thing.
I don't know. The vibe of this one is very different. This one goes way more after the samurai spaghetti western vibe, at least the very beginning. I've only played the very beginning of it, but
Okay, is that a good thing or just different?
I mean, I thought it was funny because it's very much, at least it definitely feels super inspired by Kill Bill. Like you start the game and the main character is going like, I have to kill the Yotei 6, which is kind of like the same thing. I'm going to kill Bill. But before you kill Bill, you have to go kill like all of the other, assassins and stuff like that. And it feels like a similar vibe.
Yeah, mod it so it always says chaos. I will find chaos. I will kill chaos. You enjoyed Strangers of Paradise, didn't you?
Strangers of Paradise? Oh,
The Final Fantasy game?
You said K. I thought you said KS. You mean chaos. Okay.
Chaos, yeah.
Chaos, yeah. Yeah, Stranger in Paradise was fun right up until the DLCs, and I completely lost all interest because they went insane with the DLCs, and it was just like, okay, this is going crazy. It's a little bit too much, but yeah. But anyways, let's jump into
Monster Hunter.
Omega. How has your Omega
Omega.
experience been? Because I know you struggled quite a bit.
You know,
in the beginning.
I don't know why it would be a surprise for anybody, though. I struggled with Elatreon at first. I struggled with Fatalis to the point that I ended up just stealing his outfit. But then, of course, I hunted him a lot.
Gaijin was going up to Fatalis like a pickpocket in a subway station, bro. Just like going in there.
And it wasn't even intentional. It was like I had fought it many times, and I was optimizing how to break parts in the body and try to learn the fight. And I realized I already have like 70% of the parts I need for this set. I was like, I may as well, you know what? Screw it. By the time I actually do clear it, I was like, I probably just have the set anyways. Let's just go for it. So I specifically went in on how to steal it, and I stole the set.
Like a thief in the night, you robbed Fatalis. You took... How did you manage to steal one of his eyeballs? And he's just like, hey, wait, what the... Just like go in there. The Palico throws a boomerang at his eyeball, comes back with the eyeball, and you're like, deuces, baby, I'm out. With the Fatalis evil eye. Oh, that was
you
fun
could never do
times.
that in the old games because you were never able to leave a quest midway and collect the items that you got from either stealing or breaking stuff. And then they changed that in World, and now you can just we used to rejoice at the return of subquests, because subquest was a way that you can go in there with a very optimized build to cut a tail or break a head, and then do the sub-objective so you can get out and get some rewards without having to do the whole quest. Now it's like, I go in there and it's just popping off candy left and right. I'm getting parts all the time. And I don't retire, I just return from quest. So it's...
As a matter of fact,
pampered.
in Wilds, you actually can't abandon quests, which is...
they just like, no, you use those potions, damn it.
Yeah.
You're not getting them back. Oh, no.
It's been a bit of a struggle with the current Wilds economy. I'm just like, brother, Nada, have you heard from the others? Nada, where's my Gloamgrass buds, Nada? Nada, where's my God Bug essences, brother? I need more Dusts of Life. Keep these people alive.
I just imagine he's sitting there the whole time going, why doesn't he see the mark above my goddamn head? Because, like, he's constantly at max, and I'm constantly trying to pick up from him. He's like, I'm max again. I'm like, well, maybe you should beef up your facilities, punk ass. Like, hold more than 16. I don't know.
Listen, Nada. Let me tell you something, okay?
Box. He's sitting right next to the item box.
Exactly. That's what I was going to bring up. The item box is literally next to you.
Right there. When
you get the stuff, you put it in the box, Nada. You put the thing in the box, Nada. It's not that hard.
Yeah, he's not the most talented kid, so.
But I personally went in there, regular Omega, did it first try. Regular Omega.
Regular Omega was good.
The reason I did it first try, though, was because I was just like, I made a public lobby because I realized, this is going to be scaled for multiplayer or whatever. So I'm just going to go in there and whoever jumps in, And apparently the first 3 people that got in there already knew the fight because my friend Tommy Giggles was even telling me, like, man, you didn't even get to see the mechanics. I was like, oh, really? Because, like, they knew the fight, and I'm just going in there with the gun lines. Wyvern stick, full blast, brah, 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 brah. And Omega, barely did anything.
I'm surprised you did that, because, like, me and what we do is we specifically don't want to do anything online until we get to do it the first clear. So for both the normal and the Savage, we didn't do it online. We got our clears by ourselves, which is good. Savage, though, we attempted to do it with some people, and without luck, but then we did it with the NPCs.
It's just...
But,
whenever it comes to a monster that is specifically made for multiplayer, I want to go in there and I want to do it in multiplayer, because I think it's more fun. It's one of those things where if the monster doesn't scale, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's get some players in there, let's go do the thing, that is more fun.
I mean,
even
but
though Omega does scale.
Yeah, at what point do we call support hunters not multiplayer? That is multiplayer, right? It's another player who doesn't screw up as much and is usually more consistent.
Actually,
they don't have a high skill ceiling, but they have got a very high floor.
I actually think they're significantly less consistent, and they're more frustrating to work with because they drop fire in bad places repeatedly. Alessa keeps trying to get aggro, never succeeds. I have to go in there, get aggro, then she can get aggro off of me. I don't know. I don't actually like the. I think it's great that they're
have
there.
Issues with them.
I think it's great that they're there, but the way that they perform is actually not fantastic for me personally.
Really?
Especially,
wow.
I think the thing here is if you're playing a DPS weapon like dual blades, or you're playing a hunting horn or a bowgun, or something that's built for damage, I think they're great. If you're playing a tanking weapon, they suck because they don't deal enough damage to make up for everything else. And if I'm tanking, that means I'm not able to deal as much damage as I would be able to if I wasn't tanking. But then Alessa tanking, she does a terrible job at just like moving the monster.
She's great. I think she's fantastic.
You think she's fantastic because she can hold aggro for you. That's about it.
No, she knows exactly when to grab aggro.
No.
She knows how to counter. Your game must be different than mine because, man, she's great. I give her an A.
Let me tell you, if I do not grab aggro,
are you accidentally hitting the face?
No. Listen, if I don't grab aggro for her, she will straight up not grab aggro at all. Yeah,
I don't know. It must be AI buggy with what weapon you're using then, because
I don't know, but
absolutely perfect.
Because I will jump into the hunt and I'll be like, okay, Alessa, I'm gonna go deal damage on the hind legs. You grab that aggro. And Alessa's just like, erp derp, no aggro, erp derp, zero aggro. And Omega's just like, woo, I'm jumping all over the place. Look at my Merv missiles to the whole party. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, having a blast. And I'm just like, bro, the thing is,
it must be looking at the weapon you're using.
The worst part is the second I just go, okay, Alessa, fine, I'll do it myself. I will grab aggro. She'll be like, oh, you wanted me to grab aggro? I'll go grab aggro right now. And then she steals it off of me. I'm like, dude. Alessa, why? When I don't grab aggro, you don't grab aggro. When I grab aggro, you instantly grab aggro. It's terrible. So usually what I have to do when I'm playing with the NPCs is I will go and get aggro, because I can get aggro super fast with the gun lance. I go and I get aggro, and then she steals it off me, and then I swap to a different gun lance and I go do damage. But I have to do that for every phase, because otherwise, I'm not exaggerating, she straight up will not grab aggro, ever. Omega will be a good 2-3 minutes, just free reign, doing whatever the hell he wants, and everybody's just getting pummeled, and it's just miserable because I can't deal damage like that.
Yeah, because with Sword and Shield, I'll tell you, I've tested it out because I was very curious. I wanted to know what her DPS was, how they were working, trying to figure out the quirks of why sometimes they just stand there on their birds doing nothing.
That's something that happens too.
I did a lot of testing, and I realized that the AI is quite particular. And it's trying its best to align to whatever the hunter's doing. I'm guessing now, hearing from you, that they're looking at your weapon type and making assumptions about what role you might be taking. For example, if I go in with Sword and Shield and I don't bring Alessa, Rosso will actively grab aggro every time, because he can guard. I don't know why they don't consider the Sword and Shield grabbing aggro, but Alessa grabs it every time. I've never had a wild... The only time I've ever had her not have aggro is if I accidentally hit the head with either a mount or with the Picto stuff. As long as I'm not hitting the head, she's got aggro consistent every time. And then I noticed that when you ride your bird to get up, if you get hit, their DPS goes down because they think you're trying to tell them to move. So they start getting on their bird. And that AI behavior will linger for 10 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Yep, they won't do anything.
We came up with the thing and said, okay, don't get on your bird. Don't get on your bird. Use a buff, and they attack much more. Throw a demon powder, they go nuts. They know what's up. Use your Picto stuff, and they'll start using theirs, and it just works out really well. So it must be weapon type because I love them. The support hunters are way better than the average online lobby, which is why I don't play online with other people. Because they're just, you could do I could do regular Omega with them, in 11, 12 minutes. And then, Savage is, about, 18 with them?
I don't know. It took me
Maybe
31
19?
minutes to get it done with them because their DPS was abysmal.
Yeesh. But the story though, I love the way they integrated Omega. Omega and Alpha are the actual like Omega, and they're adorable.
Yeah, that's
I'm
something
so happy
that
they got them in there.
That's something that people don't know, but the small little Omega that you speak to, that's the actual Omega.
Yes.
And also, people
I
do not.
I found the banter fun.
What?
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I found their banter really fun. Like you.
Oh yeah, and people do not know. I was gonna say they don't know the power of Alpha, like how much Alpha has fought for the Warrior of Light. Like, bro, it's straight up. You get emotional at the end of that raid series when you see all the stuff that Alpha goes through. It's really really cool. But yeah, it's kind of a shame that we don't get like an Alpha skin for the Palico. I was surprised. Or any kind of like Alpha pet or anything like that, like an Alpha balloon or something. I don't know, an Alpha thing to follow you around like the Cactuar. I was like, man, we don't get Alpha? That's kind of mean. Alpha's so cool. I miss Alpha with his little ironworks
and I mean,
coat.
I could see like Savage is going to be its own topic, but I mean for the regular Omega, I think the fight was fabulous. I thought it was well balanced, but I could see where it's different, right? Like there's a different mindset that you need going into it. So many people I think ran into a wall, sort of like with Alatreon, right? Like, okay, and I think a lot of people misconfused it and said, "Oh my God, I have to play it like an MMO," but that's not the case at all. It's this time both.
It has MMO
Monster
mechanics.
Well, it's got tanking mechanics. That's it.
No, I mean,
there's really not
you don't really have telegraphed markers on any other fight that I'm aware of. I mean, you get some telegraphs from time to time, but you don't really have like, oh, here's a big orange thing for something really bad that's about to happen in this specific area.
Yeah,
and
but that's
a lot
kind
of
of
people
like
don't
easy
know how
mode,
to
right?
deal with that.
It's easier, right? Just don't walk in it. It's going to get hit.
Or block it. Most likely you'll have to block it if you're playing like a beefy weapon like a gun lance or a lance. You're going to have to block a lot of those.
Like people, I guess, if it's a weapon like a lance, I could see it being painful, but like...
Oh, it is.
The game very obviously wanted you to engage with the Pictomancer item, and it's just pressing a button every 30 seconds, and it does huge damage against the collab monsters, and it does decent damage, actually. I was using it against Zoshia, and like it's not really meant to be like a power weapon against Monster Hunter monsters, but like if you have nothing to do and you've got a Mog laser and it's like back, you can hit it for 400. It's respectable. It's not nothing.
See, guys, this is the mindset of somebody that plays something like a Dual Blades or a Sword and Shield or something like that. It's like, oh, you just use the Mog. It's like, except your weapon doesn't take 3 business days to sheath.
Yeah, even with quick sheath, it's tough on some.
Yeah, like, listen, I was running.
But the thing is, I've killed it many times with heavy bowgun, and even then, I'm able to keep up my GDC. Like every 30 seconds, I'm on my Picto,
like,
man.
With the gun lance, like even with level 3 quick sheath, it's miserable. Yeah. Like it's just going like, let me fold it and put it in the bag. And by the time you're done, it's like, I just want a Superman dive. No, it wasn't even fast enough for a Superman dive. You just got hit with a Nerf missile, and now you get to die. Good luck. Bye-bye. So long now. Rip. But, yeah.
Yeah, but so I think those things combined with the DPS check, threw a lot of people for the thing. But I think it's much easier to, once you know what the game is expecting you to go for, I think it's much easier than something like Alatreon, whereas like that, what you had to do, but the execution part was, for normal. The execution was really tight. So I thought they did a really good job with normal. And the game even told you a billion times, they're like, please switch to fire for Nursilla. Please switch to fire. They give you Cactuars, they give you Marlboros, or you just go up and you press the circle to activate, and they go blah, and the spider always comes after you. So all you have to do is stand right behind it, and it's gonna get paralyzed every time. Rocks all over the place. It's like, oh, it's not that bad.
And the normal version I feel like is pretty doable. There were a lot of people that complained about the normal version as well. The thing to me is whenever it comes to stuff like collabs, the whole idea of a collab is like, let me give you a taste of what it's like in this other game. That's the point of the collab. It's like, here's what it's like in Final Fantasy XIV. Here's some of the stuff that they have to deal with. And I feel like they've also did it really well with Witcher 3, even though Ancient Leshen, kind of a lame monster because he's got like a small hitbox and he's annoying and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the actual quest that you do before you fight, Leshen is really cool because you go around, you have like the dialogue options of Witcher, you see.
Oh, it was such a memorable quest. I loved it.
It was really cool. The same way that to me, I thought that Behemoth was awesome. And I feel like Behemoth didn't really get as much pushback as Omega. But yeah.
I think Behemoth is more MMO-y than Omega. By far.
I mean,
like having to place a mustard bomb, outside of the, on the corner of an arena so people have more safe place to move.
It was the same thing with Charybdis.
Frequent. No, Charybdis was much more.
Oh yeah, Charybdis was more frequent, but it's kind of like the same mechanic.
Real pain in the ass.
I do feel like there is a bug on the Omega AI because I feel like sometimes it does this very specific thing, which you can deal with, and it's not impossible. But I feel it almost feels like the game is punishing you for a mistake that you didn't do, which is a lot of times Omega will just go like, "Oh, you just lost aggro. Also, Merv missiles," and you're like, "Wait." I had aggro to prevent you from, missile blasting my whole team. That was the point of me having aggro.
Hey,
I lost aggro. I didn't do any mistakes. And now you're Merv blasting everyone. Why?
Actually, you know what? The Merv blast was the thing that got me for the first evening. And then when I realized that the DPS check was not a problem for how I was playing in my gear, and I just said, okay, whenever there's a Merv, I would just put my weapon away and I would just not get hit. And then after 5 or 6, blasts, Omega goes, and he's tired. And then I can go and I can kick him in the face. And it worked. And you know what? I got the clear instantly after that. And that was on Savage. I was like, I just need to stop. Minus the spider, which I used it to be aggro for. I just needed to tell myself, play safe. Playing safer and more consistent is so much higher DPS than like trying to burst every other time and then gain hit,
Yeah, the only time
Poor Yuna,
that you
though,
really...
oh my god!
Every time she walks in
every time she walks into the freaking arena, whether it's like a transition to phase 2 or 3, no matter if she's the first one or the second one, she's always the one targeted with mustard bomb, and it's like, oh come on, bro. She's like, man.
I always felt bad because she's playing the Gunner. Gunner has like less physical defense or whatever it is, and every time that Omega would hit her, it's just like, boop, one shot. And I'd be like, oh no, down goes Yuna again. I'd always feel so bad. It's like, it's the Gunner tax. The same thing was happening to Nyx, who's a speedrunner that I got around to playing with. It was the same thing. Every time she would get hit, bop. Every time Ark was trying to do like
but you're paying
heavy bowgun,
but you're making bank. I mean, let's be honest here.
Big
even
damage.
Heavy bowgun, as long as you're using evade distance 3, heavy bowgun is an absolute comfort toy for this fight. It's easy.
I wouldn't know. I don't play
and
those
it guards.
Weapons.
Pack it with guard up 3 and guard, and you can even like get all the counters and everything. And evade distance 3 is perfectly tuned so that if you're in the middle of a missile and you evade, it'll bring you out right outside the radius of its bombs. So it's like, okay, if you're slightly outside, then evade 2, but evade distance 3, once you do it, you'll never go back. It's so good.
I wish I could.
Maybe not as a gun lance. Yeah, you're sidestepping.
So many times. But I'll tell you what, I've actually evaded the tanking debuff quite a few times. When he goes with the tanking debuff thing, I don't really go for the iframe. You have to jump before he shoots it because he locks in a little bit before he shoots it. So there's a window there where if you just do the long hop backwards, he'll miss every time, and it feels so good. You're just like, I'm going to get you with my debuff. And I was like, no, bitch, I'm going to dash backwards and you're going to miss. But it feels good. So yeah, that's been definitely an interesting fight to prog. It took me 20 hours before I got my first kill.
For Savage?
For Savage Omega. 20 hours.
Yeah, I think mine was, I remember I did a good 8 hours with no luck. Then I went on your stream and did a few hours. Then I went on Kagran's Arc stream. And I think it was probably about a good 16 to 18 hours for me as well.
Yeah.
I think.
It takes a while. And the thing
But
is,
man, now I can walk in there and I can I'm not gonna get hit once. Watch it, and it's like a good prog once you know it, and that's why people are like, it's so much RNG, man. I'm like, it feels like RNG, but it's not for the most part. There's
a couple of things that are RNG. Like sometimes you'll just get like, especially in that first area, I feel like sometimes Omega just.
Oh yeah, because if you can't grab the aggro right away.
No, but sometimes even if you grab aggro, but like. There's something about that first area and the second area where things can just go really, really bad out of nowhere. Third area is a little bit better. And then the fourth area, it's just everybody needs to chill out. Everybody needs to get into their Zen moment. And it's like, listen, he's doing this.
Don't panic. He's got a lot of HP.
We've tested this. Okay. But even then, sometimes in that fourth area, he'll just sometimes throw out some crazy combos. Like I've had situations where he just goes like, okay, here's that thing where you get 3 laser barrages followed by 3 missiles and you're the tank and you're eating every single one of those.
As DPS, you're like, wait, I could just hit him for 1 minute free?
Yeah, exactly.
This is great.
But when you're the tank, you eat that, and then he finishes that, and he goes, and now I'm going to do 3 charges in a row. And then he finishes that, and he goes, and now I'm going to laser. And then he finishes that, and now I'm going to charge again. And you're like, what, bro, can I get 1 break to recover stamina, please? Like, stop.
Well, at that point, I think as a tank, you can say, my DPS are not coordinated. If he's getting away with that many combos, then they're all, I want to say bada bada, but that's Japanese. They're all taking different legs. They should be focusing.
Yeah,
especially in the final phase. Because if you get the double break, you can just pop a shield underneath the tank and they could just sit there and go ham. So it's I think that's a DPS issue.
I've had several times where I'm just like sitting there taking an absolute beating.
Yeah, you need to yell at your DPSers.
I'm even using a trick that Chaos Slayer brought up on Twitter that I wasn't aware of. But like, if you stop blocking, it takes a while for your stamina to come back. But if you reload, stamina regen starts immediately. And I was like, oh, so in between every missile blast, I'm going like, reload.
Yeah.
There's not even anything to reload. I'm just reloading for stamina, baby. That's really funny. But yeah, that's been something that is a little bit tougher to deal with, and that is sometimes where a lot of those comments about RNG can come from, because it will feel like, man, that was a very nasty combo that just happened all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the first, I've been watching a lot of like replays and lurking on streams, just trying to find out where, because I'm thinking about doing a guide, because I just see a lot of guides out there and they're all talking about use this set, use this armor, use this weapon. I'm like, that's not a guide.
You haven't seen my guide. My guide doesn't even bring up builds. It's perfect.
Yeah,
it's a 1 hour long guide.
Oh God. I don't want to I'll do a short version then. But I'm thinking like, it's just a mentality. If you know the approach, then I think it's...
Yeah, but that's
not bad.
Why I did a 1 hour, because it's like, it's basically a whole hunt that I did. And I'm just going through, if Omega does this, here's what you have to do. If your tank is eating this specific attack, this is when you sheath your weapon and you do a Dust of Life. If somebody gets frozen, you need to stop everything you're doing in Dust of Life, because otherwise that person is likely to die. And I'm like explaining every single Omega mechanic, every single phase transition, every single thing that can happen in the hunt. A lot of people have told me that they've gotten clears after watching that video, because they become more aware of everything Omega can throw at them.
So I was gonna say, like, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to watch it. I actually didn't see it yet. The algorithm doesn't serve anything these days.
Of course not.
I will go find it. But like I was noticing, first phase aggro misses is usually the result of everybody just going in there and using their Mog right away and hitting and like actually hitting the head with the damage, and it keeps an internal counter of who has done damage to the head. And if other people do just a little bit of damage, it could just throw you off the percentage. And it's like, okay, this person is no longer the main head damage deal source. I'm going to lose my aggro or not give aggro. And it's like, don't hit the head if you're not the tank. Aim for the leg. It's not that hard.
The hardest part about getting aggro in that first phase is because everybody's going for the hind legs instantly. I feel like if rather than at the very beginning...
he turns around, yeah.
If you go for the front legs instead, it makes the tanking job
Keep
a lot
him
easier.
facing the tank,
Yeah, because people will be like, well, my damage isn't good on the front legs. Well, yeah, just let the tank grab aggro.
Yeah.
Because otherwise your damage is going to be even worse because it jumps all over the place and becomes a nuisance for
even
everyone.
better, because I have actually had the same advice. If you go for the front legs at the start and you make sure you don't drop your Mog on the head, and you want the tank will generally grab aggro pretty fast, and if they do, Omega's pretty likely to do the 5 lasers stream from its face. And at that point, there's a weak spot that's temporary there. You can get a one bonus weak spot for the hunt. Is one time during the entire hunt, you can pap it in its mouth.
No, you can do it more than once.
I've never seen it appear more than once.
It regenerates that over time. Yeah, you can do it like maybe 3 times per hunt or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well then I never noticed. But like phase 1, if you could just pop that and get the shield right there, like that's a great. I mean, phase 1's over in 60 seconds.
Usually I even try to save that one for phase 2. Because phase 2 is a little bit more dangerous. So I even prefer, but sometimes if I'm like, okay, he's doing a lot of nonsense.
No BS, yeah.
So I'm just gonna grab that, pop that right now, and not even have to deal with it. As a matter of fact, usually my friend Wada, he usually pops that for me because sometimes I might be blocking, I get pushed back, and it's hard to get back
Sword
in there.
and Shield though, you just come in there and you're like, boop.
Yeah, he usually comes in from the side and grabs him right, and then was like, slap, and he puts him down, and then I just get aggro instantly again. So yeah, it just works great. Gun Lance, I've actually found that like I was telling people that Lance is easier to tank Omega, and I still agree with that, but there's nuance to that. So the way that it works, it's easier to get aggro with Gun Lance, but it's harder to deal with aggro with Gun Lance. It is harder to get aggro with Lance, but it is easier to deal with aggro with Lance.
Huh.
And I prefer the ease of getting aggro.
Fixed damage, right?
What?
Yeah, you can do fixed damage to the head. It doesn't matter about the hit zone, so you can deal out a lot of damage quite fast. So
yeah, usually I can get a good Wyvern Fire Blast from 800 plus damage. Depending on, I think sometimes you even get 5 hits on it. I'm not exactly sure what is triggered. I thought it was supposed to be 4 hits. Sometimes I get 5, so it'll be like over 1,000 damage for a Wyvern Fire. It's like, oh, okay, this is great.
This is my Mog Blast. Take it.
Yeah,
exactly. Did you see, I was bored last night, and so I was like, can you kill regular Omega without hitting it once with your weapon?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And so I went in there at the NPCs, and now you can't just sit there and run around and do nothing. So what I did was I brought Mushroom Rancer and I was buffing them. And then I was healing them so they didn't have to stop and heal. And I was just using the environment and my Picto. And yeah, I didn't get hit once, and it was easy peasy. The last phase though, they were really slow deep. It was half the DPS because they can't deal with him running around so much. But phase 1 and 2 were over within 14 minutes or something like that. It was very smooth.
Yeah, it's kind of again, it's just a fantastic fight in a way that I've been saying multiple times that this is something that I had missed from previous Monster Hunter games, which is if you go G rank, usually in the older games, going G rank solo meant that the quest was going to be much longer than usual because stuff doesn't scale. So I would usually want to play with friends. I'd be like, oh, if we're doing G rank, but something that I did a lot was GU. If we're doing G rank, especially because I'm playing Gun Lance, I definitely want to play with friends. Because if you're playing by yourself, like I timed out quests with the 50-minute time. I had this one double hyper Brachydios quest that I wanted to constantly farm for some material that I wanted to get. And that quest was miserable. I've done it, but I've also timed it out so many times because it's just hard to deal with, right? So you want to get friends. And I kind of feel like that is where you want Monster Hunter to be, where you want to play with friends. Whereas with Wilds and even World and Rise to an extent, it'd be like, I mean, if I bring my friends in here, it's a beatdown. You're just going to beat this monster down. It's not going to do anything. It's going to just like stay here.
Finally, it's one of those scenes where it's like, if I go with other players, there's a higher rate that they're going to cart. We might clear it faster. I was like, but there's a risk, right? It's more dangerous, but it's also more fun because of that.
Yeah, but basically, I've been wanting fights like this that actually require friends to go. And this one doesn't even require it because you can do it solo with the hunters, right? You can still do it solo and you'll be fine. It's
Again,
just
the term solo is misleading. I mean, there's actual
yeah.
solo, and then there's with I would just call them CPU teammates, right? I mean, I mean, it's still multiplayer, but they're not as efficient.
So you got your first clear solo, right? That's how you got your first clear? If I remember correctly, I think you were saying that you got your first clear solo because we did a couple of attempts in my stream. And then I was even talking to this guy that we met on Arc stream called Z Mystery, which was just like running this insane hunting horn build. He was just like
Oh
putting
my
out all the
god.
buffs. It was
It's not even
so comfy.
it's not even the build, it's just the way this dude plays
Yeah,
is an art.
it's pretty sick. But
Yeah. So
I
I
remember
got my clear
I remember I was talking with him
offline
in Ark's chat, and I was like, "Oh, I need to like get you on Discord or something to come help me do clears with Gaijin so we can do the podcast."
Yeah, I ended up clearing it with the again, after we had our thing and we had a bunch of carts, I sort of took a step back, and it's like one of those things where when you start playing, when you just gave up, you're just like, screw this sucks.
Damn, you
And
were
just
you were
stop
going
caring.
you were going that
No, but like
that harsh on
yeah,
yourself?
when you get to the point where you're like, this just whatever, this sucks. And then I got like a cart or two in like phase one once, and I was just like, this is stupid. Whatever, I'll play it, I'll get in my reps. And lo and behold, I'm on phase 4 before I knew it. And I just timed out. I'm like, oh, if I just stop overthinking this
Yep.
and stop being so damn aggressive and just I know all the moves, I know how to deal with them. If I just deal with them consistent and nice and smooth and be chill about it, boom, within 2 pulls I had it and I killed it. And then I got a second kill right after again. I was like, okay, this fight just turned easy because that switch in the head, it flipped, It's
Yeah,
like when there's a mechanic in a game that you just can't quite, it doesn't quite click, but once you've failed it enough times, it just clicks and you're like, how did I ever lose to that? And it becomes easy as shit, afterwards.
It's one of those things that a lot of people have been saying randoms are bad. And I'm just like, no, they just don't know yet. Once people have gotten enough tries in this hunt, eventually people will understand how it works.
The clear times are going to be so fast. Yeah, it's going to be fun and fast.
Yeah, people like Nix was speedrunning it in sub 10 minutes with a group. But it was still insane. I was like, well, I think my fastest clear was like 15 something with a group.
Yeah, that night we saw Ark and we joined his lobby and we were playing and we got our clear. It was like I think we got a few clears with him. But I think we're at 16 minutes. But yeah, when Z Mystery came in with the horn, like I've played with healers, I've played with support people, I play with horns and swords and shields, but there's just like a lot of times I find that the healer role doesn't really work for this fight that well because one, if the other three hunters know the fight, yeah, if the other hunters know the fight, you don't need that much healing. Like you really don't. Just somebody look at the tank if they're getting bullied, pop a life powder. And if you know the fight, then you know that at the very beginning, you just I have to complain about this because this is so different from past games. That like at the very beginning, we're so used to going into the supply chest to see if there's any goodies for us to take on the hunt, right? No, they put it in your damn sacred pouch, right? Which I've never touched in over God knows how many hundreds of hours, right? So sitting there, she's like, dude, press left on the D-pad when you're on the bird. I'm like, okay. And I looked at it and I was like, wait, there's 2 dust of life, 3 life powders, and 2 max potions just for free.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, well, next time Alma tells me, hey, that we put some stuff in it. She says, no. The game is telling you that. It's bullshit. Ignore that. You get this at the very beginning of the hunt. I'm like, say what? At the very beginning, when you go down, before you even go down to phase 1, you can just grab them. And then later in the hunt, when they're like, oh, we added more supplies. That's bullshit. I think they just added like a first aid or something stupid. Like it's pointless.
Okay. I've never checked the supplies afterwards because usually she says that during Nursilla, and it's like,
yeah,
I'm a little bit busy right now. I'm not going to be foraging in the item pouch of the sacred while we're trying to murder this Nursilla real quick. So yeah,
but yeah, so the healer doesn't work. But I've also been with like supports, and those are generally good because like when you get attack up buffs, which is why Kai, the support NPC, is so good. he'll, as long as you're not getting hit and he's having to heal or try to do defense like Sonic Bubbles, he'll buff your attack. And like Attack up L is just great when you have DPS and know what they're doing. But like, it's just the way that Mystery played was like that perfect mix of good aggression, targeted DPS where other people were hitting it to break off certain points.
Yep.
Very smart usage and timing of songs. Good defense, good offense. And Yuna was joking. She's like, I bet you if I get hit, I can't even pull off a heal before he heals my ass.
Yep.
Like, that fast. I'm just like, Jesus. And they're doing damage and all this stuff?
My thing is, like, imagine how much grinding this dude has done to have, like, all of those items. It's absolutely insane. I looked at his set. His set has pieces that nobody uses. Like, he's got pieces from the Suja set. He's got, like, you want to know what his set bonus is? It's like a gathering set bonus. It's not intentional. He's not intentionally going for the gathering set bonus, but that's what he's got on there because as a consequence of the parts that he has, because he's got wide range, Mushroom Mancer, like all the buffs, everything that you could think of, all the support skills, he's got all of them. The thing is, even though he has all of that, I did notice several times whenever I'd play with him that he would still get enmity from Nursilla. So he's doing damage. It's not just like hornering over there. Like he's going at it. He's still doing the thing. But yeah, it was a magical
moment. It's sometimes when you get to hunt with people who are really good, it's a little magical because you're like, man, how are they popping off like that? That's amazing, and it's humbling. It's very cool. I love it.
I wanted to like do the hunting horn thing because I did find that to be probably the most important role in the fight because like. I know that for some people, they probably look at that and say, well, tanking, but it's just tanking, I guess, comes so naturally to me because of my MMORPG experience, stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, tanking is easy. Like, it's just like you poke it in the face a couple of times, then you hold your shield up, and that's pretty much it. There's not much more to it than that. But, yeah, it was definitely interesting. So one of the biggest things about this fight that people are complaining about is the Nursilla DPS check, which is kind of like the point of failure the same way that Eschaton Judgment was the point of failure with Treon. People don't like DPS checks. What do you think about the DPS check?
Nursilla Extreme is what we're going to call or Savage. It should be the name. Omega's just the mob that comes with it.
Yeah, Nursilla's laser deals more damage than anything that Omega does apart from the Delta attack.
It takes like a good 80% from you,
Yeah, but it's not all of the lasers because she has 3 different variants of the laser that she can do. So there's the focus straightforward laser, which is fine. There's the laser that spins around, also fine. And then there's the laser that she shoots at the ground. And that's like back in the day, Quake 3 rocket blast to the ground. It will shred everything. Like that laser, here's the thing. I've had situations where and again, I have guard 3, guard up 3, rock steady mantle. I block that laser and she kills me. It's like, no, don't care. Don't care about any of your defenses. When I fire this laser, you get the hell out of the way or you get carton. I have a set of palicos right here. They got the cart ready to go. They'll ferry your ass right back to the friggin' thing. I was like, that is crazy. That laser is insane. She
knocked you right out. She knocked you right out of Monster Hunter and into FF.
Yeah, pretty much. As a matter of fact, for a while, I actually replaced Rocksteady Mantle with the Mending Mantle, so that if she hit me with that laser, I'd get sent flying rather than get sent back to camp. But yeah, that Nursilla is very, very dangerous. But I feel like it's very doable so long as everybody is pushing enough DPS. That's the thing. You got to be pushing DPS.
I mean, the problems I'm always having, which you don't have with the support hunters, because there's no way. Nursilla will always target the player. If you're playing with support DPS, will always target the player with a dash at the very start, which means you can set that thing up for success on attack 1. You can just sit there underneath the rocks. You can then pop a Marlboro, go behind it, throw your Mog laser. She'll walk right into the Marlboro, and she's dead within like 20 seconds. Like, there's nothing she can do. But the problem is like when you're hunting with other hunters, people really suck at being in the same place.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Like, they're really bad at it. and it's almost impossible to guess which hunter she's going to go after with the starting jump, which means 3 hunters are now away from her and have to get towards her. By the time they get towards her, the person who's been targeted is probably running away to save their life, which means she's now going to jump back another place. You lose so much time with movement.
Yeah, she just starts jumping all over the place.
So it's like...
Also,
like even when I was in Arc stream, we're telling everybody, please stand here when she goes out, and you couldn't do it. Like, you can't get 4 people to listen. It just doesn't work. And we had the same problem in FF, right? Like, people just go south, and someone going east. It's like, no, go south. Nope, go east.
People will run. The best part about Final Fantasy XIV mechanics is the very first time a new player gets hit with a stack marker. It's the best.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, whenever you get hit by a stack marker, everybody needs to collapse and under the marker so that everybody shares damage. But these players will get hit by a stack marker like, I'm running away. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Actually,
boom,
one of the I want to ask you a question, because one of the reasons I haven't made an Omega video is because there's still a little bucket list of things I want to test. Do you know, I know that for Omega it doesn't do anything, but can you use that like aggro grabbing slinger ammo on Nursilla?
No, it doesn't. Oh, on Nursilla?
Damn it.
I don't think
on
it
Nursilla
works either. I haven't
because
tried
that would
on
be
Nursilla.
that would be a crazy good strategy if it does, because the only problem I see is that people can't lead her to the right area.
Yeah.
And but there's several solutions. I think it feels unfair for a long time. I'll agree with that. It feels unfair.
Because
but
she's
once
on
you
crack
start
cocaine.
thinking about it, once you start thinking, the game keeps telling me, swap to a fire weapon, you dork. And then you go, oh, I'm going to swap to a paralysis weapon. And then you realize, yeah, but you're doing shit damage. It takes you several hits, and if she's not standing still, you're not going to get it. And then you want to switch back to a fire weapon. That's more wasted time. It's like, just bring fire like the game is telling you.
I think
like, just,
the easiest way of
dealing...
The easiest way of dealing with Nursilla is the thing that we were doing last after you were talking about, oh, you should use the pillar on Nursilla. And I always thought that she was too erratic to be able to plant the pillar. But if you do stack the 4 players under the pillar, she goes there.
Every time.
Then you drop the pillar on her. It's actually really good. And people are like, well, I'm saving that for Omega. But the thing is...
No. You don't. Omega don't need it.
Yeah, but the thing is, which is very, very important, is if you use it on Nursilla instead of Omega, what's going to happen is when you guys are done with Nursilla, because she's barely going to move if you use the pillar on Nursilla, because she's going to stay there and the tank is going to instantly get aggro. It's very easy to get aggro after the pillar drops. But what's going to happen is the shield is going to be in a position where you're going to be right next to Omega, which for the tanks, it's
nice.
Chef's kiss. Why? Because the shield that Nursilla gives is much stronger than any of the other shields that you get during Omega. It's not invincible. I have seen it being busted. So it can break.
You can take a mustard bomb and still not break right away.
It can take a lot of punishment. Usually you guys will be done with phase 3 before that shield breaks. But what happens is, because you have that big shield there and you're right next to Omega, especially if your tank is using gun lance, which is what I usually do, it's like, oh, hi, Omega, Wyvern Fire. It's just like, oh, instant aggro. Now I just sit here and everybody instantly goes DPS. So the damage that you would get from the pillar is offset. And as a matter of fact, you exceed the damage that you would get from the pillar with sheer uptime, because Omega doesn't even move. He straight up will not move if your tank knows what he's doing after dropping the pillar on Nursilla.
And there's a rock right above it as well. So like that thing ain't moving.
I found that using the pillar on Nursilla, the thing is, you need all players to be in sync. You need all players to know, okay,
it's like, everybody,
we're collapsing
please go here.
We're collapsing under the pillar. Nursilla always comes, you drop the pillar, and then, like Bob's your uncle, the third phase will go faster than if you drop the pillar on Omega and don't have solid aggro. Even though you can usually still get solid aggro after you drop the pillar if you're good enough. But yeah, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, if you drop the big rock and then everyone has just have gotten up to Mog Laser and just hold it, because that's 4,000 damage free.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you don't pass the DPS check at that point.
Yep.
If you really need it, what I was going to say is what you can do, because people get annoyed by the rock. Like when you drop the rock, it can hit the hunters and then they get all screwed up as well. 1 thing you could do is you bait it, you drop the rock, and then there's always going to be one or two Marlboro right next to you. You can just go and just activate one and just stand behind it, and then Nercilla will go straight into it, and then you just keep whamming away because that thing will keep her steady for a long time. But there's like, I think so. I mean, the game is giving you lots of tools. And if you want, you could be. I don't think people could do it, but if you want to be hyper aggressive, you can actually have the DPS specifically target the same leg, and then you can actually get the ankle, the piece that drops off. You can get it before Nercilla appears. You can drop it, and that's an instant shield. And then you can just put the shield wherever the hell you want, and Nercilla will come to you, and then you just whack her to death. Because at that point, you don't have to worry about lasers, you don't have to worry about little things. Like, you just go crazy on her, and she's dead.
You actually brought up something that I forgot to talk about, which is I think that a lot of people, because they're used to the way wounds work in other monsters, wounds work differently on Omega, so you can wound the same part multiple times. So you can just basically hammer on the same leg repeatedly and keep getting wounds. As a matter of fact, whenever I'm doing damage with the Gunlance, because, you know, even though you play Gunlance, you can actually swap it out for a damage setup. I've actually posted my builds yesterday. So I have 2 Gunlances that I take into Omega. One of them is for tanking, which is the Guardian Arkveld Gunlance, because it already comes with 2 guard. So that allows you to then just put a tier 3 deco that has guard up 3 and guard. And you have everything. In terms of defenses, then you just need like magazine and artillery, which you can get through a combination of charms and whatever. But so I use that one for tanking, but then I use an Ardian for damage. And what I do with the Ardian is I put 3 focus on it, and then I go charge shelling. And that is disgusting. You go up to Omega and be like, charge shell, wyvern fire. Charge shell, wyvern fire. And it's just like, you're wyvern firing all day. It is fantastic. Whenever I'm doing this with the NPCs, I see just like wounds popping all over the place. I pop wounds. I put up more wounds than the NPCs will trigger. It's that insane, because I'm like, oh, fine. I guess I'll have to go and trigger the wound because you guys can't do your damn jobs, but fine, whatever. But yeah, it's been really, really fun. It's just been an absolute blast.
What I like about the Omega fight so much is a few things, and there might be reasons that people hate it. But one, they didn't go all MMO in my opinion. I think that they did have the MMO parts to it, like at least for tanking and like, you know, some stuff, right? But it's not like it doesn't play like a raid like at all. Like, trust me, I'm playing Arkveld right now in Final Fantasy XIV, which I'll talk about a little bit later. That's an MMO fight. Like, it's not that. But they found a really good balance, and it feels fresh, it feels unique, and it encourages you to use armor skills that you normally wouldn't use. Because, face it, Monster Hunter Wilds has been kind of lackluster when it comes to requiring you to have any type of build.
Yeah, any
it's
defenses.
Just put on as much. Yeah, just put on whatever aggro you can and go ham, right? Or like evade extender is a god skill for the Omega fight. It's god. When you're dual blades, you normally wouldn't use focus, but because Omega moves around, focus 3 on dual blades is really good. Like, there's all sorts of little things here and there that just make, you know, like fire resistance, making sure, hey, make sure you've got
fire
20.
Resistance, yeah.
You can use 2 if the meal gets you to 20. Just 20 is golden, right? And like a lot of people don't know that.
You want to know another interesting skill that I've been using on Omega, which is very situational. It's just a skill that I've always liked, but it actually works on Omega, is Convert Element.
Oh, really?
Convert Element procs will stagger him.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Convert Element is something that whenever you take a little bit of elemental damage, it will activate, and then that will increase the dragon damage on your weapon. And also every now and then there's almost like a blast proc, but it's a blast of dragon damage, and it hits way harder. So it'll be like 300 damage or something like that. Whenever that happens, Omega goes like, oh, and then he comes back online. It's not like a full down, but it like staggers a little bit. So I might get like 1 or 2 procs of that during the fight. So it's not like, oh, this game-changing skill, but it's like, I like it. Look at what I did. I made him stagger with my attack. Look at that. He's staggering. So yeah, Convert Element's been fun, but
yeah,
that one's
all of a
something
sudden,
that I've used.
all the set pieces that have lots of like level 1 slots Stuff that has like quick sheet, like the Ultdunas, like they're in high demand for this fight, and I love that. Like a fight that you have to. It reminds me of Elatreon in many ways because you have to build for it, right?
I mean,
I was thinking about Elatreon. Like Elatreon would not work as much in Wilds because you can just swap your weapon, so it's not a punishing mechanic if you didn't break the horns.
Yeah, you could just swap it around. But like I was experimenting with like all of these different skills, but the Youth Duna stuff I've always used it in my build because like I can get mantles every 5 minutes, and I also have massive defense boosts when I have mantles. The one skill that I tested that I didn't like on Omega was the Blackest Night.
Oh, I have not tried it yet.
That's not a good idea on Omega, dude.
You want to go down to 1 HP? You sure about that?
Like, let's go, Blackest Night. I was like, oh, my health, it's gone.
Yeah,
but
if it jumps away, like, wait, I need to heal. Don't go away.
I was lucky that when I used the Blackest Night, there was a healer with us. But I was like, yeah, this ain't working for my gun lance. But it's a pretty interesting skill, and you can get like a lot of damage done with the Blackest Night. Like that thing will hit for 800 damage on Omega or something like that, almost 1,000 depending on the skills that you have. And I think it's interesting because again, Capcom did the thing where we're gonna present you something that's going to do something completely different than stuff that you've seen before, like the Blackest Night.
Yeah.
And you can use this in regular hunts. It'll work. It's just very, very risky, but you get a ton of health regen back. So you can also heal yourself so long as you don't die. So, you know, there's interesting mechanics there with the Blackest Night. Though the other one that I haven't tried out because of the armor sphere economy, which is a serious issue in Monster Hunter Wilds. There's not enough armor spheres to go around.
Actually, it's kind of funny though. Like the people who don't have issues are the ones who play a lot, because the dailies and the weeklies give out heavy armor spheres quite regularly. So it's kind of rewarding to people who have been keeping up, and playing it on the regular. Because man, I ran out of Zenny. I had been selling all my monster parts.
Damn.
Because I mean, upgrading armor, it costs money, and then I probably gave the two bros over at the Armor Sphere Smelton. They probably got like 20,000 materials from me. I gave them everything.
It was the same thing for me because I wanted to upgrade the set that comes with the Blackest Night. I upgraded everything to level 9, and then I did one hunt, and I was like, well, not using that. Nope. All those armor spheres gone. They're gone now.
No recycling.
Not coming back. But it was definitely interesting trying that out. But the Savage Omega skill, like the Resonance skill, that one I haven't tried yet. But you need to be using the Savage Omega weapons. Like I think it's really.
I maxed out the set. I got level 10 on every piece for Omega, and I've got the Insect Glaive and the Sword and Shield.
How much defense does it add when you perfect block with Sword and Shield then, with Resonance? Is it supposed to
50? And everybody that's near you, it's pretty generous.
So it goes up from 35 to 50? Because I think it's 35 if you have just the base version.
25.
25 for the base version? Okay.
Yeah.
Then it goes up to 50.
It's nice.
Okay.
But you know what's even better than that, though? It's just the sheer audacity of saying, everybody knows every time I get a perfect block, they'll know. He just did a perfect block. Because it goes
rubbing it in the face.
Exactly. And it can be refreshed. So it's not like a flat. It's not a flat like what 45 seconds it lasts.
Yeah.
If you get a perfect guard before that, it just resets it to 45 seconds again. So like everyone just buffed his shit.
And it's
great. And then with Insect Glaive, oh my god, you can like buff their affinity, you can buff their attack, you can buff their defense, you can buff like everything for everybody. It's quite nice.
With the Insect Glaive, I thought it was just affinity.
So like you get the full set, right? Has the near and far. So when you're far away, I believe it's attack or affinity. I can't remember.
No, that's for you. That's just for you.
Okay. So with the Insect Glaive, when you do the Rising Slash, because like that's the more riskier move and the highest DPS move.
Everybody
when you
gets
do
affinity.
Everyone gets a good chunk. I think it's 30% affinity.
That seems a little bit more powerful than 50 defense. Just gonna go ahead and say that 30% affinity.
Yeah, but guarding, I mean, you're getting perfect guards every other second with a certain shield.
Yeah,
so, like,
there is that. One of the things that I really liked about it was the animation that you get, because it's a new animation for when you perfect guard. Your dude goes like, and just like big AoE blast from your character.
but
Like, that's cool.
also the Omega weapons, and it sucks that it's only 2 weapons. I'll say that. I really wish they
Yeah.
gave weapons to other ones as well. But the cool thing also, the benefit of those is that they're synthetic, so you don't see them when you don't have your weapon out. You can finally take pictures of yourself without having a gaudy ass weapon on you all the whole time. Only when you whip it out, it materializes. It's really cool like that.
But it looks.
And then
really
the
good.
Insect Glaive, Insect Glaive has the OMG, the Omega. You can buy it from the store, and it's like its own Kinsect. It's like it's not even a skin.
I've heard it's not very good though. Poor little OMG. He's doing his best. I've heard it's not a very
he's
good
fine.
Kinsect. I don't know.
Oh, come
I don't
on!
know how
Like
good it
every
is.
Kinsect is fine. It's all in how good you are with it. But
So
yeah, they're real. They're dope. But I want to get your opinion on this because I like it a lot. Is that one of the things that I loved about Final Fantasy? Like when we first started and you got me into the game, right? And I checked. I think I'm at like almost 7,000 hours now in that game.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
What have I done?
was the idea of
Cue the Linkin Park music. What I've done.
Well, it's funny because you see somebody with, an ultimate weapon, right? And you're like, how do I get that? Oh, that's a journey. That's tough. And, that's an accomplishment. And I like the idea that there's some gear that's just hard to get, And I love the fact that they took the armor for Omega, which is amazing. I love the Omega FNF armor. And they made it exclusive to Savage. Now, I think, I agree, it would have been nicer for them to give everybody the armor, but I also like the fact that it feels like there's a tangible trophy and reason to feel accomplished that you've cleared this fight, right? And not every piece requires the 2.0, just 3 of them. The nodules are going to be the more pain in the ass thing to get, but like, it's a nice feeling to have. Yeah,
the Omega noodles.
Yeah. But I know I like that, but I could see why some people don't like it. What are your thoughts on that with the idea of the Savage exclusive reward?
So there's a lot of people that are not big fans of aspirational content when it comes to Monster Hunter. And I can understand that because it's not really something that Monster Hunter has done before. I guess if you look at Alatreon, but I would argue that Savage Omega is the hardest thing we've ever done. Like, I think it's harder than Fatalis, absolutely. And I think that a lot of people are just not okay with it. Me personally, I think it's fine because I've always been used to the concept of aspirational content. This is content that you work up to because that's all MMORPGs are. Like, at the end game of an MMORPG is just aspirational content. You either work really hard and it's going to take a while for you to be able to get good enough to be able to get this gear, or you just accept the fact that you're not going to get it. And yeah, in Monster Hunter, definitely a big portion of the community is not okay with that stuff. They're like, no, I want the rewards in the normal version. I don't want to be grinding Savage Omega. And, I think there's valid points from
both sides, right?
From both sides. To me personally, I think it's fine whether they would give it away to people or not, and maybe you can have like a skin.
Yeah, the fact that it's in the game is great.
Yeah, you could have like a
something
skin
like where like the
what we
Savage
had.
version like has glowy effects and the normal one doesn't or something.
Yeah, you could get like a special skin, which was what they did with Behemoth. Behemoth was you get the Drachen layered set, and that's pretty much it. No, you also get like a title, which I turned into Warrior of Light is casual. Title. But you can get that title, and then there's like, I don't know if there's anything else besides the title and the layered armor. But in here, you get a full armor set. I'm okay with doing it either way, but a lot of people clearly are not. And there's not a whole lot that we can really do
I do
about
think
it.
it would have been nice if they moved the emote to the regular Omega. I think
Manderville Mambo? No, that's the most valuable thing. The Manderville Mambo is by far the most valuable item in the whole hunt. What do you mean?
But you want people doing it.
I mean, yeah, but
Also,
only if they finish the hunt.
can we give Capcom a little praise here? That and I don't know if it's them or Square or because it's a collab and they didn't want to pay royalties on it. I love that they didn't take the route of, hey, let's add in a cosmetic gear that you can pay money for. They didn't do that for the
Yeah.
collab. It's all earnable in game. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking you for doing something that's normal, but you know what? This is 2025, and that doesn't always seem to be normal these days. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy about that.
Unfortunately, they
When I
also
saw the Omega
did.
F costume, I'm like, if that is DLC, I will throw a fit.
Yeah, that would have really sucked. But unfortunately, they still did do a lot of like paid DLC, like way more than they should have, especially because of the fact that the,
Yeah.
the game still has performance issues. That's one of the things that I will always criticize. I'm like, listen, your game has problems. You should absolutely solve these problems before you add in paid DLC. But
Yeah. Well, I'm
investors and
doing the
all
best
of
thing I can
that,
do, which is I will not buy it. I don't buy the cosmetic DLC. I
dude.
did back in the day. I bought some. I won't anymore, and that's just how I voice it, and that's it.
I need to buy that Phoenix mount though, dude. It looks so good. It's just literally made for me. I still haven't bought it though because I'm still like, please fix the.
Phoenix mount.
Yeah, like the mount that we got during the summer event, which has got like flame feathers and all of that stuff for the sacred.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's a version of that that has less armor covering it. So there's just like more flame feathers, but that one you have to pay for. And I was like, oh, that's the one I want. The flaming sacred. Right now I'm running around in my chocobo, but yeah, I want that flaming sacred. I'm holding off until title update 4. Hopefully they'll meaningfully improve performance and I can be like, finally. I also want to get the Alma ending quest things. Those look cool.
Oh god, yeah, yeah. But I don't. Is it always random? Because like I don't want Werner on my screen. I don't
No,
want
you
Eric
can
when
you
I
can
play a
choose.
quest.
You can
I'll break
customize
my
it right
screen.
now. You can customize it right now actually with the existing ones in game. You can choose which ones you want, which ones you don't want. So it's like I really like this one. You can just have that one be the one all the time if that's what you want.
Yeah, those also though I think would have been really fun. Like because you have like Gemma and Werner, you can use them during hunts, but no one does because the hunts are easy enough and it's just a pain to go out of your way to interact with them. It would have been nice if they wanted people to engage with the game systems more and said like, okay, like use Gemma and kill 10 monsters and you'll get this unlocked, and make that like a
Yep.
thing that you can go for. Like that's a way to inflate your game time and enjoyment without doing any effort much at all. Just saying, look, engage with our system enough times, we'll give you this cool thing. I think that would have been the better move.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to catch me arguing for putting things behind a paywall.
Yeah.
It's going to be the exact opposite every time. Oh, I think this would be, yep, 100%. Anything better than putting it behind a paywall? Yep, every time. Never fails. So, yeah, I agree with that.
So where would you I guess I won't even join the discussion about the idea of like Omega being a waste or not because it's not a monster hunter monster, because I'm so biased that I can't give you a standard opinion about that. Like to me, it's Monster Hunter. Anything that is huntable is I'm happy. The fact that it's not an in-universe monster like doesn't bother me because I'm also a huge fan of Omega. So like
The
I
thing
feel
is,
you if
it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Not only it makes sense, it makes lore sense, as in
yeah, I
this
think
is
it works
actually
thematically.
for Final Fantasy XIV. This is a canon appearance of Omega because Omega travels through dimensions looking for powerful entities to fight so that it can evolve itself and become a better weapon. That's the whole purpose of Omega existing. So therefore, he jumps through dimensions and somebody actually brought up in my comment section the other day, like, well, from that sense, it would make sense from Doctor Strange from Marvel to show up because he also does portals and goes through dimensions. And I was like, it would. I don't want that, but it would, because he could come and he could study the dragon element and then use it to defeat Marvel villains or whatever, because dragon element, very mysterious, affects the psyche and whatnot. He would learn all kinds of things, but I would prefer that
this might
not
be a
to
good
happen
point to
because
put-
I'm not a big fan
I'll
of the
mention it
Marvel
now.
stuff. So
Yeah. I'll mention it now because it's a good timing to do it, but the Arkveld quest in Final Fantasy XIV went live yesterday. And so me and Yuna did it, and it's fantastic. It's even better than the Rathalos collaboration they did. This time they really went all out. I love it.
So tell me
So
about
one of
it.
the things they did, is they made it linked to the Omega quest in Monster Hunter. it like lore wise, it's the same incident that the Instagame incident. It's the same thing. So they're saying once Omega appeared, in the Monster Hunter universe, it appeared near a guardian nest where guardian Arkveld was, and it got sucked into the portal that it came through. So the guardian Arkveld got sent over to the Monster Hunter universe. And
The
Omega
Final
slipped
Fantasy
into
14 universe.
Yeah.
He got sent to
sorry.
Eorzea.
Yeah. And the Palico got slipped in as well, who was around watching the incident. So there's a Palico in the game who's like more than happy to not ever go back to the Monster Hunter universe. He's like, I'm having an adventure, man. He's like, this is great. I'm not in no rush to try to get back home. I'll live here. Like he's happy, like he's having an adventure and stuff. And so, you've got this unknown thing that's slipped through the same incident.
Wait, I forget. Does the Palico that we get from Rathalos, is that like canonized as, oh, I made a toy that looks like the Palico, or is it the actual Palico? I forget.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Because it would be funny if you would have an interaction with the existing Palico that we have. That would be cool. It's like, oh, I see you've met somebody from my world as well. Look, he's right there.
Well, the cool thing is like, let me talk about the way they put it up first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you get in there and they've got a nice little quest. It's not too long, but it's enough to like give you the idea of like what is the spirit of Monster Hunter, right? Like tracking a monster. They
have really tracking in Final Fantasy 14?
Well, it's a scenario thing where you're running around with the Palico in your team and you're looking for pieces and signs of where Arkveld may have been.
They have tracking in 14. We don't have tracking in Wilds. What the hell?
Yeah, it's more Monster Hunter than Monster Hunter Wilds. And I actually like the idea that because Arkveld is such an unknown, and it hunts even though it's not trying to eat, and it's who knows where this thing's going to find a power source and go crazy, right? And you probably haven't even gotten to Solution 9. Like you don't even know that part of the story. But there's an area in Dawn Trail that is charged through like electricity, and it would be like the perfect thing to like make Arkveld like way overpowered. And so the idea is like we got to stop him. Like I feel really bad for the guy, but like he's out of his, like the other monsters are trying to fight it. Like they're panicking, right? Because they got this unknown. So anyway, it's a short story. It's fast. The Palico they put in there is the Wilds avatar Palico. And the textures and the models are so damn good. I think the texture on Arkveld puts FF monsters to shame. It looks
as it should.
So good. It looks amazing. And because last time when they did Rathalos, the idea was we're going to try to recreate the Monster Hunter experience inside of Final Fantasy XIV, right? So it did everything it could to not play like a normal FF14 fight. This time they said, no. Now we're going to take a monster to monster, we're going to take their personality, but we're going to translate it into FF14 gameplay. And so it's a proper extreme trial. Like
But I liked Rathalos because it wasn't.
Oh yeah, because I know, but you'll like this one as well because the mechanics are really good imagining of like what I keep saying I want, which is I want to see some more super attacks and like, having to think about AoEs or something like that with monsters. I really enjoy that, and I would like to see some monsters get that. Zoshia had like the one crystal thing that was cool, but I think more of it would be fun. But it's a really good hunt. The first fight is easy and it's fun, and the rewards, oh my god! So they went a different route. So instead of having exclusive, like mostly exclusive stuff for the extreme version, you can just get everything by farming the regular one. The extreme will just help you farm it faster. They have a weapon for all 14 weapons have weapons, which is crazy. They even have it where they're upgradable.
Final Fantasy 14 players eating better than Monster Hunter players is what that sounds like.
The weapons everything, including the hope set and all that, can be color palette swapped. Customized. They're not full sets. You can swap out the pieces, and like you could just take the skirt from the Hunter's Hope set and put it on something else. All the weapons have upgrades to current eye level 760 or 755 or something. Like they're legit good weapons as well if you want it. It's just another route because they're
Do
trying
they
to
look
now
like
expand it.
Arkveld weapons, or what's the deal?
They are Arkveld weapons.
Okay.
It's crazy. The black mage one is the hammer, and they're like holding the hammer.
The Arkveld hammer?
Yeah. They got really creative. They said, how do we take the models and translate it into a job? And they did a really good.
I'm assuming that the gun blade is basically the switch axe.
Ah, man. I can't.
Because Paladin would just be sword and shield, and because those are the ones that I care about. I don't care about the.
I think the gun. I want to say I think the gun lance was the white mage. Maybe I don't know. It was weird. Like they need
white
a long
mage
stick,
has a
right?
gun lance,
or so, no. I can't remember. Like I'm talking on my ass. There's some combinations that are weird and interesting, but they have them. And not only that, you have you know how like in the housing you have the different housing skins for like the housekeepers and item sellers and all that.
You can have them be
They've got palicos for all of them,
yeah,
which is amazing. Then they give you a barbecue housing item for like a grill outside to chill out with people. You get free hunter seats. They've got a huge tent, which is like the sub camp tents. And all the items are like, yeah, you do one hunt and you can get one item. Like it's not they're not making you farm like crazy. They've got tons of. They got like a wilds banner that you can put in your house.
Oh, I was just
you get a sacred as well.
I was just looking them
It's
up,
a mount,
and the gun blade is actually an original design. It has nothing to do with. I mean, it looks Arkveld in theme, but it's not like one of the weapons that we have in Monster Hunter. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you get a sacred mount, which is awesome. And like they did a really good job. I'm very happy with the collab. I do plan on. I'm on EU, so it's kind of hard during the weekdays to get people online. So I think what I'm going to do is just do the extreme this weekend when people are online, probably with the free company. Hook up with the FC and grind it out a bit. And I'm going to record extreme? It. Yeah. And it's not as hard as like normal extremes. Like it's like it sort of reminds me of how like the it's like in between like a hard and an extreme. There's like two mechanics that are you got to learn. Like one limit cut, but that was about it. Other than that, like it's just a very busy, fun fight that really captures the monster's moves. And I love how big they made it. Like I want to see a Arkveld that big in Monster Hunter, man. Like just push it.
It seemed like it was much bigger than the Arkvelds that we get in Monster Hunter, which I thought. And it does
stuff that I wish Monster Hunter would do. Like it has during the limit cut. It's got a thing where it like looks like it's about to prounce, and it has like one of its legs front and one in the back, and that the one that he has up is the side that he's gonna swing and cleave half the arena, and so you have to pay attention to like, okay, which arm is up, which arm is down, because he jumps, does a huge AOE, turns 180 degrees backwards towards the rest of the team, and then cleaves half the arena with his other arm, and so it's you're actually having to observe the monster, like good MMOs and. See like what animation are they doing? I'm like, they need to break that in master rank. You kidding me? Like this stuff is great, man. You're
gonna get a lot of pushback on that opinion, I promise you, judging by some of the comments that I've seen. Jesus Christ.
Know. But
people are mad. They're like, I don't want MMOs in my monster, and I'm like, bro, this is one of the best fights they've ever done as far as I'm
eating
concerned.
good. I'm enjoying Monster Hunter in my FF. I'm getting my FF and my Monster Hunter. Like I'm feasting over here. I saw people saying like they were disappointed that Arkveld is not the mount in Final Fantasy like Rathalos was.
He's a little bit big,
but to me it makes sense. One, he's too big. Two, he has too many dangling things. It would look really weird. 3, he's not a monster. He's a construct, right? He's a guardian.
And you still get
riding around a guardian.
You get like 2 mounts out of that event, right?
Yeah,
you get the sacred and the cart.
You get the feline cart. Yeah, it's the cats pushing the cart of your dead hunter just laying down sleeping. It's oh my god.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm wondering, considering that Square Enix went ahead and they did all the weapons for their classes. I wonder if Capcom is holding back and, maybe like, here's a new stage for Omega and now there's 2 more weapons or something like that.
I really wish they would have. Yeah. It feels kind of cheapy that they didn't. I mean, we get the better
I want to get a
armor,
gun lance. I want to get a gun lance.
Yeah, All the weapons should have, like all the DLC monsters generally have a weapon for each weapon type. So like,
But the
make it
thing
happen,
is,
man.
the thing is, like, you'll need every weapon to have something unique. Well, maybe not. Maybe you can have shield weapons all get the defense thing from the sword and shield.
Yeah, exactly. Just take like
And
one
then,
move that's the big commitment and say, okay, when you do it, then there's a small buff. And if
yeah.
it's really hard to do, give it a 25. If it's really easy, give it a 10. There's ways to make it work.
Yeah, and then the more offensive weapons like dual blades and whatnot, they get the affinity the same way that the other one gets the affinity, maybe on focus strikes or I don't know. But yeah, there
Yeah.
are ways around it, and you don't need like a unique skill for every single weapon. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
kind of rough, right? So maybe
And
they're
it's
testing
it's
it out.
it's
Maybe we'll get
non-elemental,
more,
so it's not
hopefully.
taking up a slot. I hope that Capcom make it happen.
Yeah,
Add new
yeah.
weapon types. People will be much more inclined to fight it if they know that they can get a reward that matters to them.
Yep. But
But
overall,
yeah, the collaboration's good in FF. So
Savage Omega has been an absolute blast. Looks like Extreme Arkveld is also an absolute blast. To an extent, it makes even sense from a lore perspective, like
yeah.
we've discussed
I'm
as
putting
well.
Omega in my top 5. I'm sorry.
All time?
I mean, if
Or
you
Wilds?
look at no, all time.
Top
Like if
5
you
all
look at the
time. Damn.
yeah, if you look at the monsters I like though, they're all this type, right? Like my favorite being Gogma, then Molten Tigrex, Bloodbath Diablos. I love aggressive monsters that charge at you and are full on aggression. That's just the type I really enjoy. And Omega is just that, and it's an IP I love. So yeah, I really like this fight.
Speaking of Gogmazios,
Oh, literally my favorite monster in all of Monster Hunter is coming. And you know what? I'm happy it's coming in December because I have fingers crossed that they're gonna make some damn progress on the performance side.
performance, yeah.
They keep saying they're saying we need a lot of time. We're gonna do it at the
No,
end of the
they've
year with
specific.
the Gogma.
They specifically said that Title Update 4 is when they're doing the next performance
Yeah.
push.
So I hope to God, that it's like it's good enough because I think, having Omega now where some people are interested, some are not, but they have enough time now to really dig down and fix the performance issues or at least make them significantly better. That I'm hoping that once Gogma comes, that everybody who has the game is going to be inclined to re-download or update and get to play it because Gogma, I mean, they're making such a good use of the Gore Magala skeleton these days. Like Zoshia uses it, Nergigante used it, freaking Gogma uses it. Like they're
Share
making good
Schwalda
use out of
used
that.
it. No, Share Schwalda
Yeah,
was
yeah.
using. Wasn't she using Volstrax? I think she was using Volstrax
Maybe.
because of the
I'm not sure.
hands things and whatnot.
But like
yeah.
Gogma, like I'm hoping that they don't go asleep this time for the weapons because the weapon designs are so good on Gogma. I'm hoping that because it looks like it's more tied to fire, that they'll make it a blast weapon. Can you imagine if it was reimagined as blast weapons? Because the blast weapon has an open slot right now.
More
Like,
explosions.
Every weapon doesn't have it.
You can sign me up every single time for more explosions. I'm always down for more things blowing up. That's yes, absolutely.
And it looks like it's going to be just as gigantic as ever. And
Do you
it's going to
think-
be a spectacle.
I think one of the biggest things that we need to talk about when it comes to that fight is it going to be a raid? Not like,
like
an
Safi?
MMO raid, but yeah, like Safi.
Or Call of Tarath, or it's possible, yeah, because it might have like phases where you knock off parts or whatever, and like get the dragon nader off of its back for one run, and then the next one he's weaker. Like they could go that route, but I don't want Safi weapon system back. I did not like that.
I mean, we already have Ardian.
Or the
I don't
cult.
think that they would do Safi on top of Ardian. It doesn't make
Hey
a
man,
lot of sense.
anything they can
You'll
do
probably-
to make this bigger than life, like a spectacle, I'm all for it, man.
You'll probably get like materials that will allow you to further upgrade Ardian. That would be my prediction.
Yeah,
Because they said
they're
that
going to
they're
be
going to
expanding
keep
the
Yeah, they're
Ardian.
going to keep Ardian relevant, so I would expect them to like give you special materials out of Gogma to improve your Ardian weapons. That will most likely
Yeah.
be what they end up doing.
It's
Do you think it's going to be harder than Omega? Yeah, that's a rough one.
no, I don't think so. I think
You think
because
Omega
Omega
will
has
be
two
the
versions,
hardest
right?
thing?
Well, I think Omega Normal is not like the most hardest thing in the game, right? Like Omega Savage is hard, but I think that's a special case scenario. I don't think they would make an actual the default monster be harder or as hard as a Savage. No. However, I would encourage Capcom to think about the idea of using the Omega thing to say, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we had two versions of some real key monsters? Like we had a Gogma and a Gogma Savage.
Arc-tempered
That would be.
Gogmazios?
I don't think Arc Temper does it right. I just don't. They're cool, but I don't think it. I mean, the level 9 ones are harder than the Arc Tempered,
No, I
whatever
don't
they're calling it
agree.
in English.
I don't
What?
agree. Nine star Uthduna is easier than Arc-tempered Uthduna. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't think so,
absolutely.
but okay, I guess. I don't know. I just don't feel like there's a big enough difference between the two when it comes to Arc Tempered. I mean, they feel more inflated, a little bit more dangerous, but it's I don't know. Maybe I'm sipping my own FF Kool-Aid, but I felt that the Omega Savage felt significantly harder and interesting. But I would love two versions of a monster. I would love a high-end version of like a Gogma, but I don't think they would have the regular Gogma be like super super hard. I think it'll be demanding. I think it'll definitely like require you to have upgraded your gear and not get pelted to death from all that tar and explosions, but no, I don't I wouldn't want them to make it that hard. I just want them to make it so it doesn't die in 5 minutes, like make it a fun fight that's like a good 15 minutes. Like I don't want it to be over too fast. It's got to be a feast, and I want to see how they're going to replace the super cannon. Like how like once it goes
I,
crazy
I'm
and it
I'm not
takes flight.
familiar. I'm not familiar with the fight at all because I've never fought Gogmazios, so I don't know.
Oh my
This is gonna be my
god.
first time. Pop my
Oh,
Gogmazios cherry.
well, the thing is that they're going to have to reimagine the fight because
Yeah,
the
it's
way
it's gonna be
that it worked
reimagined
is different.
very much the
So,
same
oh
way
my
as
god, in
Alatreon and
four
Fatalis. And
U,
like if you
it was
like
in
the
this
fight
huge
back in
arena.
if you like the fight back in 4U, I can only imagine how much better it's going to be this time around. But
Yeah,
go
because
ahead,
like
describe the fight, please.
yeah, so in 4U, it took place in like it's sort of like like you had that area where you fought like Lao Shan, like the fortress.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but it's just a single map, and it's got the upper level is just has like a trolley that you can hit, and it goes from like the left side to the front to the right, and you basically the moving turret has like cannonballs where you can like take the cannonballs and stock it like up to 10 of them and then pop it off if Gogma's facing it and then hit it with 10 cannonballs. It's also got the ballistas. I keep calling them baristas, but they're not making coffee. They're shooting the ballistas that you could do as well. So the idea, and then you have a huge Dragonator in the dead center, and then this thing is so large that it fills up like the entire arena, right? So like you'll have like one person on the cannons like loading them up, but like the problem is the Gogma is dripping this oil all over the place and they're blowing up. So like you have to be really careful. And when he spots somebody on the upper level on the truck, he goes, charges up his laser and does a huge explosion, which sends you flying halfway across the arena and blows up everything that you had in your hands. Like he's very aggressive. Like usually the big monsters are not that aggressive, right? They'll have like a telegraph and one big move. Nah, man, Gogma was like as aggressive as Gormagala, and this thing would thrash and move fast. And so like it has because it keeps getting into like the supply closet and eating stuff like explosives. It's got holes in its body and it's dripping this oil that explodes, and it's got this huge ancient Dragonator that is like stuck in its body, and if you mount it and you attack its back enough, you can knock it out of its body, and then you like trigger it on the ground, and you can use it as a tool against them. And as a theme, all of its weapons are like torture devices. It's like a dark blue and black, very gothic type of thing. You got like, like the Iron Maiden and like death cages for the birds, for the bow, and like it's super like edgy. And the whole idea is like in the hunt, around, and there's restraints as well. It's that big. You have to use restraints sometimes to be able to get off some hits. And that little frowny face is just like holes where stuff drips out. It's pretty crazy. So there's this huge cannon on the back end that is not usable until like the 15-minute mark because they're panicking trying to get it ready. And if you have the one ammo for it and they're like, it's ready, I think they call it like the destroyer or something like that. Like one person takes the trolley all the way to the back in the arena and you're like a significant distance from it, right? And this huge cannon goes up in the air and then you get the people on the ground to try to lure it in the middle and they're like, pop it! And you hit it. Huge cannon, like the size of like maybe 10 hunters tall. Like it's a huge cannonball. And it blows up like an atomic bomb. And then Proof of a Hero starts playing. And then Gogma just starts going absolute shit wild. It's like midway through the hunt, he actually flies up in the air and just starts flapping and shooting lasers everywhere. And at that point, most people are just like, they're like, oh my God. And they just get out and they go back to camp and they're like, what the hell are we going to do, man? And then you're scared to go into the arena. It's that aggressive.
Is it soloable?
It's cool. I mean, you could. It'd be
if
really
you're
hard,
if you're a
but,
pro, I guess.
I mean, for you didn't have scaling, so like, yeah. I mean, you could solo it, but it'd be like it didn't have rolls or anything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to touch the cart. You'd only be able to ever touch the Dragonator. That's it. But yeah, it's soloable, but it was
not
a big
designed
hunt
for
where, like,
solo. So I would expect this one to also have like, roll stuff. They're probably going to program the companion hunters to help people out because that's one of the themes of Wilds. It's like we're going to do bosses that will be way better. I mean, I say it's one of the themes of Wilds specifically with
I would say like
Omega, but like we're going to do bosses that are going to be hard. You want to get other players for it, but you can bring the companions and they'll do a reasonable job of it.
Yeah. The way I say is like, imagine a monster as big as Safajiva, if not bigger, that has explosions and AoEs and is as aggressive as Nergigante. That's Gogma. It's gonna be great.
That's going to be absolutely awesome.
And the thing is attacking you even when it's not, because it's dripping stuff all over on the ground and blowing stuff up constantly. So not only do you have to look out for its tail swipes, its arm swipes, its lasers, its bites, its stomps, its charges, you also, it's like constantly throwing out these AoEs around it, which makes it really dangerous. So yeah, there's no room to be safe. If you're up a high, he'll laser you to death. If you're down below, he'll blow you up.
It's going to be one blast of a fight is what I can.
God.
It's going to be so
I
good.
cannot wait.
So there's
And the
also
name,
been,
I have a video that I covered, but like the name origins are from like Gog and Magog, and like it's all like, like biblical references and stuff. It's crazy. Like the theme of that monster is just so good.
time to go check out Gaijin's Gogmazios video, guys. Get to learning because in December we're fighting this. Is it December? I think it's December when title update.
December,
comes
yeah.
out. Yeah. But
Freaking Christmas present. Oh my God.
The Monster Hunter events have also been starting to kick off. We're not getting
Nice.
the next Harvest Festival just yet, but we already have. Strangely enough, I haven't done it yet. I'm probably going to do a stream later today to see if I go and I do it, which is the Arc-Tempered Blood. No, wait, it's not Arc-Tempered. It's just 9 stars Blagonga. So there's a 9 stars Blagonga, which I haven't done yet. And also we just got a new Frenzied quest that was added today. I don't even know what that's about. But
What
you get,
aren't
like,
frenzied
the
monsters
skull.
are weak as shit? So like, what's the?
I don't know, because
it's
I
just for
saw
an item?
Tsuki on Twitter and they were going like, "Oh, they gave frenzied monsters HP." So I'm very curious
Finally?
to see what that event
Yeah, because
quest is
you
gonna
know
be.
what? I'm disappointed with them right now. Like they do this whole tease in with the frenzy, and they just leave
Yeah, they
it
haven't
as such a
done much
half-assed
with
idea
it.
for half a year. It's like,
Yeah.
you better start moving on that stuff like soon, please. Oh my God, can you imagine if Gogma got the frenzy? Holy shit!
Frenzied Gogma.
Like he would overcome it. Like he would overcome it easy, and that's where we had the original
becomes-
Apex monsters. Was
Considering all the biblical references, he becomes angelic Shigaru Magala. There you go.
do you think it'll
He
have
just
any
becomes a
interactions
god
with Zoshia?
entity.
I'm curious though. Like, do you think it'll have any ties or interactions with Zoshia, or do you think they're saving that for the very final, like the grand finale of Wilds?
I mean, the thing is, I don't know that much about GOG. You would be the one to tell me if you think they'll have interactions with Zoshi or not.
They didn't. The thing is, it was an online super boss, like the same thing like Atal. So like they had their thing of like, yeah, this is what the monster does and how we spotted it, and it's like super mysterious and dangerous, but it didn't have like a story like deep behind it or anything. So,
And he's an elder dragon.
Is this the first time? Is this the first time they're taking a multiplayer in-game G rank boss and putting it in another game? Because they've always been exclusive.
Isn't Fatalis also in G rank? On Monster Hunter 1?
I mean,
I think.
Does Fatalis count? I don't know. Like Fatalis is kind of like the one out.
You were just asking like it's a multiplayer G rank hunt for the first time. I'm like, what about Fatalis?
But I don't know if
that one doesn't count.
G exclusive.
Gogmazios is more important.
Yes. Well, I'm just thinking like Monster Hunter. What are the super bosses? They didn't start doing super online only bosses at. Let me think. No, Amatsu made it over. Amatsu was the.
Yeah, Amatsu's in Sunbreak
multiplayer. Yeah. Okay. Well, now they need to bring Atal back because now they have the permission to do it. So.
I still want the Sand Whales.
Morales.
I want the Sand Whales.
Morales. Come on. Lagia Cruz proved that they know how to do the underwater sequence. They can do it for Dire Morales. Why have a Fatalis when you can have one that is 50 times larger? Right? That's the Fatalis model. It's a big-ass Fatalis.
I still want, like, listen, we have the Windward Plains. We have the Sand Skiffs. This is the game. We need the Sand Whales. We need one of the Sand Whales. Please, Capcom. Capcom, please.
Nah.
We have the Windward Plains.
I love
Give me a Sand Whale.
I love them, but I think Gogma's going to scratch our itch for the spectacle monster. Like something that's huge, big, and ultra aggressive. Love Zora Magnaros, but that thing is not aggressive to you.
Yeah, he's not aggressive enough. Like, he needed way more aggression. But, yeah, that's everything that's been happening.
Oh, wait.
That it is. Wait.
Can you imagine they overtune Fabius? Because we have not seen Fabius since they buffed the support hunters, right? And they buffed him a lot.
I think
like the support hunters get huge. But I think he's going to carry people on Omega.
I've seen you talk about this. I think it was on my streams, and I'm just like,
why would they make him only available for festivals? It makes no sense.
I don't know.
He's a support hunter lancer who's only available during celebrations. It would only make sense that he is a freaking beast, and I think he might be there to help people power through Omega. That's my guess. We'll see. The first time then that goes live, I'm gonna pull him up and take him on a savage hunt and see how he does.
Can't be any worse than Alyssa. That's for damn sure.
She's great for me. Maybe she just don't like you, man.
I have that effect on women. They just don't like me. Global female aggro. That's what I have.
But I guess pulling back to TGS, I saw Omega before it came out, but I wasn't that eager to play it at TGS because I'm like, it comes out like in 2 days.
Yeah, it was going to be out in 2 days. I'm
not lining up hours trying to get a taste, you know.
But yeah, these are all the things that have either come recently or will be coming in the near future to Monster Hunter Wilds. Both of us are still pretty hyped for it. We understand that there are some shortcomings in terms of performance, as well as Capcom going all crazy with monetization, despite the fact the game still has performance issues. We'll continue to call that out, but ultimately, we're still enjoying the game. That's where we're at with that. Now, let's talk about some of the things that you got to experience at Tokyo Game Show. So we finally got a new trailer for Stories 3, which brought with it the release date. Release date, by the way, which is the 13th of March. And let me tell you.
Right in time for fiscal year end.
Because you don't play probably a lot of the games that I'm going to be bringing up, but do you have any idea how packed February and March are for next year?
I don't have anything on my radar, so probably I have no idea. I mean, March is always packed because it's the end of the fiscal year for a lot of companies. So that's when they want to get in their first orders of a game. And
it's just,
you know, if they had a lackluster year, that's a way to put it up there, right?
It's just so frustrating that it's just, oh yeah, we're releasing it here because fiscal year. because it definitely feels like Wilds had a bit of that to it as well, where it's like, hey, end of February, fiscal year ends next month, boom, get it out there.
Yep.
But here are some of the things that are going to be coming out. Code Vein 2, which you probably don't care that much about, is coming out.
Yeah, I tried Code Vein 1, and I don't remember it, but I remember that it just didn't do it for me.
So that is going to be coming out on the 30th of January. Then Neo 3 is going to be coming out on the 6th of February. Then
Nice.
a little bit later in February, I forget exactly when, because this is not really on my radar. I just know that a lot of people like it. The next Yakuza game is going to be coming out as well. Then on February 13th is Stories 3. Then on March 19th is Crimson Desert, which is another game that I'm super excited to check out, which really sucks that it comes out 1 week after Stories 3. And then March 20th is Saros, which is like the new game from Housemarque, which is another game that I want to play. And by the way, this is before we know the release dates for Onimusha, Pragmata, although I think that Onimusha and Pragmata are not going to be competing for the Stories 3 release window, because that'd be Capcom shooting themselves in the foot. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But also a couple of other games that I'm interested in, which is Valor Mortens and Phantom Blade Zero. Especially Phantom Blade Zero. I think that Phantom Blade Zero might just going to like, hey, that March is looking pretty open right about now. It's like, no, stop! Please, no more! We're closed! No more games in March. That's crazy.
All you gotta do is call them up and have Rockstar say that GTA is going to be in March, and then everyone will scatter.
No, Rockstar's already said it's going to be May, I think. I think it's confirmed. That
Okay, so nothing comes out in May or June.
This is another reason why a lot of games are coming out this early, because they're like, well, we can't release after May, so we might as well make it to fiscal year, I guess. Fun
man.
times. But those
I've
are all
been
the
eating
things
so
that are,
good this year that I'm not even thinking about next year, like at all.
Yeah, but Stories 3, you're definitely
Like
going to
all
be
the
playing
stuff.
Stories 3.
Oh God, yes, yeah. So
we're going to
it's
be doing
wide open
another
for me.
PvP video, Gaijin?
We need to, yeah.
You're going to get
Stories
your
3,
revenge?
I got to play it actually. I played Stories 3 on the Switch 2 at the event. They had a PS5.
On the Switch 2.
They had PS5. They had PS5 Pros with the TVs, and then they had Switch 2 just like on a table. And the PS5 Pro looked perfect. I mean, you look at it and it's like, okay, that's easily locked at 60 and looks gorgeous, of course. So it's like, I'm not gonna play that. Like, so I lined up for 30 minutes to play, or 50 minutes actually. Sorry, to play it on Switch 2.
Damn.
I was hoping
50 minutes? Didn't they know who you were? Should have let you at the front of the line.
No, they wouldn't care. So I lined up for that, and I mean, it was such an on rails demo. Like there was nothing I could do to like, as you know me, I like to poke in the menu. I mean, I even got that shout out from Tsujimoto-san at that one TGS. He's like, man, there was also this, Western hunter there, just like quitting out of the hunt and just starting again with a new weapon just so you can check out what new moves there were and something like that. Was me. He was right next to me. He was laughing his ass off because you only get 20 minutes to play the game, and I'm not fighting Gore Magala. I'm sitting there just like.
When was this? Was it for the launch of 4?
For 4G, yeah.
And Tsujimoto-san acknowledged that in an interview?
Yeah, he was on a stream the other day, and he's like, oh, yeah, I saw a person going through all the different weapons and just, like, resetting the demo so they can get the most out of their 20 minutes, just so they can touch the mechanics. It's like, yeah, that was me. But you couldn't go into the menu at all. Like everything was locked. I was like, oh man. So like what you saw from the streams is basically what I played. And so like there's really nothing to say other than, yeah, I had it in my hands and it played like it looked. But like Switch 2, a lot of the games have been annoying me lately that the resolution is nice and crisp on a monitor. But for some reason, a lot of Switch games run in 720 on handheld, not 1080. And so you can tell that it's a 720p game running on a 1080 screen. Like it looks a little blurry.
That means that the screen doesn't have good downscaling, because usually you can get away with that if the screen has like good downscaling technology.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it does. No, I don't know why.
So what was the
games
performance
are running in
like
720?
though?
So like,
What was the performance like though on Switch? Because you said it was locked
great.
60
like,
on
I didn't,
PS5.
Yeah, I felt like it was 60
60
for the most part.
on the Switch. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's not a very action-heavy game. You wouldn't tell if it dipped a little bit, but it played well on the Switch too. So that's why I was like, up the resolution, man. Like, why is? But then again, I couldn't go in the menu, so I couldn't fudge with it. But just looking at other game companies, I don't know if they're gonna unlock 1080 on there. But like on TV, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Like the game was obviously built light enough to run on various hardware. Like the stories too didn't have any problems at all. Like that game ran well too. So. I'm expecting this one to run well. This is not Capcom's internal RE team doing their thing.
Did you get to go on the open world at all during the demo?
A little bit, but again, it was a very closed off area, so it's very hard to tell if that's going to be right. But they had like that live show demo that they did where they were running around with Magnamalo and then, jumping off the Rathalos and then catching on the Palamute on the ground below in real time. And that was a real time demo that they did, and it looked amazing. So I'm assuming that it'll all be good. But yeah, the monster swapping is super fast, just like it looks. And they're really laying into like this. And they mentioned this in an interview later, but it just feels like, okay, this is like the final product. Like this is the polished final form of this game idea that they've had. Where 1 and 2 were iterations of the same thing. This is like this is the final version. So I'm hopeful that they're going to bring back changing elements on the monsters for breeding, because a lot of people want that back. I think even in Japan there was a lot of voices about that. You've got that image of the Viper Tobi Kadachi that people are saying that I'm smoking, something and putting on my tinfoil hat of thinking that maybe, so it looks a little red, looks a little fiery. It's like, But it's kind of interesting that the marketing screenshot for that was labeled like a breed, like monsters that they got from eggs and they bred. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're teasing it, and it was just way too obscure. But the battle system was nice and fresh. Yeah, just like I don't know what to say. It looks like.
Did you try out the new all-out attack, or whatever it is that they have when? Because there's
Monsters toppled?
When monsters topple, there's like a special attack that you get to do now.
Yeah, it's cool with the NPC, and you do like a burst, which feels really good. And again, everything's really snappy. Like the menus, the animations, things just run very fast. Doesn't have that weird like menu slog that you would get in some older non-performing games. So it's gonna be a dream to play. But the fact that they're like giving the athletic, they said that you're gonna be able to ride and fly with Rathalos from the very start of the game. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to design the open world so that Rathalos can be, normally that would be a crutch for game design, right? Like we'll unlock flying later, and you'll be able to get to places. They said you'll be able to have Rathalos from the very start. And they said that, the very first game was all about introducing what riders were, right? And getting that whole culture. 2 already established what a rider was, but it was kind of like it was still going in there, but they're like, this game is 200 years later. Riders we're not revisiting and talking about that concept. Like now we're going to just run with the idea that this is normal. And so, they're trying to make it all more mature. So all the characters are not kids, they're older, and the story seems more grittier, which, I mean, I don't like the conflicts between 2 countries, but I imagine it'll quickly turn into 2 enemies joining forces to fight a common foe, probably, is my guess.
No, we're definitely going to see the shady side of the guild, the shady side of the guild this time, Gaijin. This is the one. This is the one for me.
But it won't be the Hunters Guild. It'll be the Riders Guild. That won't work.
No, because the Hunters Guild is going to be there. They're going to have a presence, 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, so they wanted to push the RPG more. So like, you will be able to customize your avatar like always, which I was getting scared of because like they keep showing off the boy and saying, "Oh, the prince," and like making it all canon. But they're like, "No, you could be a princess, like, and you can change your hair color, your eyes, it's fine. Like you can customize yourself."
There's character customization.
Like, show that off in a trailer, please. Like the normal Joe does not know that. Like, come on.
A lot of people were saying that like there's not going to be customization. This sucks, and I was like, there is. Don't even worry about that. Absolutely, there is.
And 200 years later, it makes me think that Rudy's probably going to be the descendant of Navi. Because I mean, they have similar features. They even have the same voice actor for Japan. Mao, she does the voice for Nebiru. She's also doing the voice for Rudy. So that's really funny.
We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But
yeah, but
I'm super
you'll be able to
excited for that
fly
one.
from map 1, being able to fly. How's that going to work?
That's the thing that I was going to ask you. Did you get to fly Rathalos?
I did, yeah. And I don't know whether or not I was screwing up because of controls, but it felt like he wasn't, like in the older games, you would be able to go up and down. He's just gliding. Which is, I think, how they're going to control it.
That's why, because if you notice in the trailer, you see the updrafts. So that's how they're going to limit where you can go in the map.
You can go
even though you can fly.
Different parts in the game, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to need updrafts, and then eventually you'll probably earn the mastery, and then you'll get true flight. But right now, what you're going to be getting is gliding. Gliding with the updrafts.
I gotta admit, I'm actually a little happy that they're embracing the video game side of it. It's gamey in the fact that you can. Have you seen them just like jump off a cliff and like throw away the monster they were riding? It just like falls off a cliff and they just jump on it.
It's like,
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. They're giving them the Yoshi special. You remember how there's that meme
a video
of the
game.
Mario jumping off of Yoshi, and then he turns around, he gives like two fingers up to Yoshi, just like "fuck you," and he grabs the flag. Oh, it's funny, but yeah,
I like that, and
yeah,
it just feels good.
It's,
but I'm
good
curious
stuff.
now. Like they need to start introducing. I guess they have a lot of time before it comes out. But they did drop the first name of Wyverian the other day. They had a character introduction on the website for one of the characters, and they said something about he maintains like a relationship with the Wyverians of the Northern Territory. Like the Wyverians have their own little thing there. So I'm like, okay, good. They're starting to name drop the stuff we want to see. So let's get our Wyverian waifus. Let's hatch them from eggs. Let's breed them.
Let's breed them. Careful. The hell is that supposed to mean?
I want my own Minoto come out of my eggs so that I can hatch. Mount right on.
I'm not saying anything at all. I'm just gonna not even gonna touch that one. That's very dangerous territory.
I do hope that they show off some monster attacks that are goofier, as I know that they said that they want to step away from slapstick humor, which is what they went for with Stories 1. Like Navi was like very much like maybe not just comic relief, but like he's the one who cracked jokes and made like silly gags out of stuff, right? And a lot of the Racadios, like the final attack with him, like the kinship attack, you're like he's like training like Rocky Balboa, and you see him like hitting a training post and dragging the hunter
I'm
on a sled.
hoping they don't get too far away from that, because that's the whimsical side of Monster Hunter. You like that.
I like that, but
yeah,
and they said that Rudy's gonna still be funny, but he's not like it's. They said it's a shift between gags to more just humor. So I'm like, okay, well, don't let all the kinship attack feels like a Saturday morning Gundam for boys. Like I want some goofy ones. They did show like the Poogie marches and stuff, which is good, but I want to see the goofy monster ones as well.
Let's not get too serious. Let's not
exactly. Yeah.
Let's not lose some of the more whimsical aspects of Monster Hunter. Absolutely.
But they're gonna have a what they said. It was Fujioka-san told them, yeah, I want to have like the Dalmatians, like 101 Dalmatians. He's like, I want 101 Poogies that you have to find in the game. So they're added in 101 Poogies that are scattered throughout the world that you'll find, which I thought was cute. Collectible food, everybody.
I guess with that, we come upon the more controversial one.
Oh.
Outlanders. Tell me about Outlanders.
I mean, I have a weird history with Monster Hunter on mobile, right? Like, people say that I'm smoking something to say, like, why do you even give them the time of the day? Why do you even feel hopeful? I'm like, I know that most companies and franchises screw up when they try to make a mobile experience for a franchise, but it still would be kind of cool if someone can finally pull it off, because, hey, more areas that people can get a Monster Hunter hook is a good thing, right? And I was always against those things until Monster Hunter Explore came out. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, I've never played Explore. I did
Monster Hunter Explore, the gameplay
I played the final...
I
played the Final Fantasy game that's based off of Monster Hunter mechanics, which I think is called Final Fantasy Explorers or something. That's like the one that I played. Whenever you guys talk Explorer, I remember the Final Fantasy Explorers game, which is It has that quest structure of Monster Hunter, and it has like the whole weapons thing and whatnot. I remember playing that on 3DS. That's like the thing.
Yeah,
But
well, I'm
it's
talking
very
like
different.
mobile games,
Yeah.
like smartphone games. So like that was one. It's kind of similar to how it is with the Monster Hunter now, where it felt shallow. Like there was definitely not a lot of depth, but like the controls felt good. Like being able to use your knowledge of the monsters to not get hit. Now Monster Hunter now is kind of egregious in my opinion because like they time gate you, like you have to kill it within a certain
I
time,
mean,
so that they lock away potions and shit. Like
it's like,
I
listen,
hate that.
I played Pokemon Go, so when Monster Hunter Now was announced, and I was like, "Oh, Niantic, oh, I'll pass."
Nope.
That's a
Yeah.
hard pass from the get go. So I never even got into it to
Yeah.
prevent myself from being disappointed in the future, which
Yeah. And then
I've
if
heard
you
a lot of
remembered,
people
like
have been. So whatever.
I was really upset and very unhappy with the other game that came out that was utilizing the stories aesthetic. Monster Hunter Riders. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. You were super
Yeah,
excited
that piece of
when it
shit.
first came out.
I was. They had some great character designs.
You
They
were
had
so excited
Screw that
about it.
game.
Now you're like, that piece of garbage.
Oh my
Disgusting.
god! Like I would rather it had never existed. Yeah, it's just ugh.
Damn. Harsh.
So yeah, I mean, like I realize it's dangerous territory, and at the end of the day, it's a free to play game, right? We can play it and say, "Nah," or we play it and be like, "Oh, that's kind of neat," or we play it and say, "Oh, it's really good," until they got all predatory, and then we just stop playing it. Like it's not taking up a slot of like a mainline game. It's not
Yeah, because it's
breaking your
being
wallet unless you have a gambling problem. Like just whatever. Like I mean, give it a shot at least, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm willing.
I
I'm willing to entertain the idea. My
yeah,
biggest
exactly.
concern.
I'm not hopeful, but I mean, like, yeah, I'd entertain it.
My biggest concern is what the business model is going to be, which I'm
Exactly.
assuming
Yeah.
they didn't reveal anything.
They haven't
like
announced it. They said they haven't quite decided yet. Looking at Timmy and the games they did, I was doing comparisons and trying to see like, yes, they do focus. They don't do the old school like Japanese like, oh, you have to buy stamina, or they're not locking you out with potions because it's an open world. You can collect and heal all you want. They didn't see time limits or anything like that, and the more cheap ways of screwing people over. But they also said that they haven't decided, so there's like nothing I can say about it, right? Like I don't know. Is it
I,
going to be
s-
a gacha where you spin for waifus or cosmetics only? Then maybe. I don't know. Like even
I,
some the games that start out cosmetic only, they eventually will go into power creep. Like
I,
that's
s- I
just
suspect
how it
it's
is.
going to be gotcha. Like I think that's just what makes the most sense given what they've shown us, which is
Yeah,
lots
yeah,
and
yeah.
lots of waifu
The
characters. There's so much focus
they
on the
said there's
characters.
going to be husbando,
Yeah, I know.
They
They've
said
said there's also
yeah.
going to be male characters, but
But
the
you also
point
have your
is,
avatar as well,
why would you
which is
want
interesting.
characters in a Monster Hunter game if you're not
Yeah,
doing
gotcha.
a gotcha? That's
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
the thing. So I think it's going to be a gotcha. Then it just remains to be seen. Like, okay,
Yeah, but
how much do you need the gotcha side
yeah,
of
so
things?
exactly. So
to
that's
play?
where when I played it, the thing I wanted to test was one, are they going to power lock you out by like making it a very hard system to avoid getting hit? So they're going to potion, monetize it. Is there a stamina system saying you can only play it 2 hunts a day, or you can spend more, raid lock it like Pokemon Go does? And I also wanted to see like, are they going to make it where like, oh, if you don't have a fire weapon, you're not going to be able to beat this thing, and you can, hey, we have a feature gotcha right now. You can pick up and get a fire hunter or whatever like that. And I didn't see any of those signs. Like the Puke Puke and the Rathalos hunts were fun. They're going to have every weapon in the game, so it's not they're not going to be locking that. There was heals everywhere. It was open like any other game. Like I didn't see any signs that told me that it's going to be bad. So I'm hopeful that it'll be cosmetic gotcha and then like battle pass stuff. Like maybe it's visually focused, but again, I'm not a sucker. I know that games will start out like with visual being like the main base, and then after a year or two they just have to ramp up the
They're going to really
monetization. So I
turn
would
up the
say
heat
like
on it?
if you're going to play a game that's free to play and you want to enjoy it and the game system itself is fun, my opinion is that you play it from release date. That is
Yeah.
going to be the first year of a game is the best because you get all the goodies because they just started. They want to get people in. You get all the free stuff. you get to play the game before they have to
And
go
then when
predatory
they
because they're just trying
and
to
then
get.
when they turn the screws,
Yeah,
you're just like,
stop playing.
deuces, had a good time. See you later.
Exactly.
So
That's the mindset I had.
the idea is just don't get too invested in it. That's the whole
exactly.
point. Because you're gonna get disappointed.
like
You'll likely get disappointed when you're dealing with mobile games. If you get too invested in it, you're gonna get disappointed because they will turn the screws. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier with the Game Pass situation of Microsoft. It's kind of like what they did. They kind of like gave you the first hit for free, and then they're like, now we're gonna turn the screws on you, and you've gotten way too invested in Game Pass, and now you're kind of screwed. It's going to be something similar that I would expect for the business model for this, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I was playing. You remember I was playing Infinity Nikki when it came out. I was playing that hardcore, and I 100% and got legendary title and everything on 1.0, and I played probably 300 hours. Like that game now, I haven't touched it for a while, but I just look at some of the updates. I mean, it's still a fun game, but it's like they're like time gating like house decorations and stuff, like how many things you can do in one day or rotate. I'm like, God damn! I was like, I played the best version of the game. I did it the right way. So
that's the way that I think that this.
What
one's
I can say
go
is
what
I played was well beyond what I thought it was going to be. It was really fun, actually. I was really impressed with how they did it. I did ask whether or not they would support controllers. I know that developer has a tendency to do that, but they haven't mentioned it. They said that they're not announcing anything right now and they don't have anything locked in, but they would love the feedback. So
what do you
they are
think
doing like
is
the closed beta.
The possibility of us getting a PC version, or are we going to have to emulate it? Because I'm not playing it on my phone. Screw that noise. I want to play it on
I
PC.
wouldn't want to either. Yeah, I would want to play it on PC. I don't know, to be honest. Until they talk about the business model, it's almost like that developer publisher has had games where they do PC versions day to day with their mobile ones. Whether that's what they're going to do, I don't know. Like, how much does Capcom consider their licensed product? Is it going to encroach on their market on the PC? If Capcom is really bullish about that, maybe they will tell them, no, you have to be mobile only. I have no idea. But I hope it's on PC.
I think that with the current review situation of Wilds, they might actually. I didn't even consider that, but now that you've mentioned it, with the current review situation in Wilds, they might not want other products that could potentially, players be like, oh, kind of tired of Wilds, let me go in and play this thing. They might start getting bullish on that you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully not, because I'm with you. I think the best mobile games that I play are always offer a PC version. I think that's kind of the industry norm now for games that they want to have longevity. So I would hope that they would find a way to make it work with controller, but I think we'll just have to wait and see. They have the closed beta. I signed up for that's November-ish, but that's closed beta, so you can't talk about what you play. So we're not going to learn anything much from that. But I'm hoping they'll have an open beta early next year. I'm feeling this might be a summer release next year, late summer. Feels about right. Just fill that gap right in between Stories 3 and the Wilds expansion. I think it'd be a perfect.
You think the Wilds expansion is happening next year?
No, I think it's going to be February 27.
Oh,
I think it's going to be so it's like the half year in between. I think that would be the perfect timing for it.
What was I gonna say? Damn it! I had this thing in my head that I was gonna say about Outlanders, and I just lost it. God damn it!
The cosplayers that they had at the thing look great. The costumes, there's love in the game. I think there's no denying that it doesn't feel like a cash grab. They said that the group had pitched them a few years ago. They've been making the game for 3 years. You can tell that they love Monster Hunter. There's really interesting stuff. The props are well made. The characters are well done. The world is really well captured. The combat feels like Monster Hunter. So
that's what I wanted to ask.
It ends up being a shit game.
If it feels like a Monster Hunter game, because that's one of the most important things.
You had the crafting and stuff where you have you can craft zip lines and stuff on the fly, so you can. That's how they get away with the larger world, but on a mobile is you just. But they're not using it like Wild Hearts or something. It's not like that. Once you get to the monster, it's a hunt. That's it, and you can smart target on parts and. Yeah, it felt good. The buttons felt right. It was kind of reminded me of how FF14 does PvP, where the combo 3 moves in a row would be relegated to one button, and stuff like that. And They had some things that was a little concerning with like the early build because I was able to go into the menu and really poke around and see like all the different things that you're able to upgrade, and it could just be I'll be placeholder to be honest, but like I saw that you can upgrade your evade. I don't know what that means,
Yeah,
but the
I
evade
saw
that we
that.
had
It was
in the
like
demo was perfectly fine. I didn't feel like anything was gimped. Like I felt like it was a flat out monster hunter.
I saw that you had all of the skills of the character, and all of them had 1 out of 8, and I was like, that looks weird. I'm not sure how I
Yeah.
feel about that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
like if that
let
ends
me.
up being the power creep thing and the upgrade materials are like is like the monster hunter now, like you need
No, you're
50 of
gonna.
this super rare item, but you
No,
can
no,
pay to
no,
get
no.
double drops.
It's gonna be like Genshin, where you need to draw the character multiple times, and every time that you pull the character, you get an
Oh
additional
God.
skill that you put.
I hope not, yeah.
Better not be that, because that would be
But
miserable.
at the very end of the day, I'm happy because the core gameplay of what I played was fun. Which means if the game business model blows, just don't spend money on it.
Yeah.
Enjoy a little side activity when it comes out and hope, expect the worst, hope for the best. And I'm happy. I think it's going to be interesting. If anything else, I'm hoping that they can do something that's new that pushes it and that gets
And
Capcom
then
to get some learnings. Like,
then the Monster Hunter team steals it.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Absolutely.
make a new weapon because the Capcom team is too pussy to do it. Like, make a new weapon.
Damn.
I'm sorry. If they don't have a new weapon for the next game, I think it's a death sentence, honestly. I think it's insanely
It's just
important.
hard to balance 14 weapons, dude.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
cry a violin. They're not balanced anyways, so it doesn't matter.
True, they really aren't.
It is.
It is what it is. Not all weapons
imagine
are built equal.
Imagine FF tried to do an expansion without adding a new weapon. There'd be no talking point, no
They've
buzz.
done it. They've done it multiple times, haven't they?
No new weapon for an expansion? I don't think so, buddy.
they've always had a new class. So it's like Heaven's Word got the machinist and what was the other one? I forget.
Yeah.
It was the machinist and Astro. Then Stormblood got Samurai.
They've always had 2 new jobs.
And something else. And then it was.
But like
after
they have the
Stormblood was
hunting pals.
Shadowbringers. Yeah.
You know me, I love the animal aspect of Monster Hunter. So like they have, instead of just palicos, you also have the owls and you have the monkey. And you could choose of the 3. So I'm hoping that turns out to be interesting enough that Capcom's like, yeah, we can use more than just palicos. I love palicos, but I love
at a certain
variation.
point in one of the trailers, because the camera was following the trill, whatever it's called, it almost looked like that was being controlled by a player. The player was just
I know,
giving
right?
AoE
Yeah, I know what
healing
you're
to the
talking
other
about.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the cut you're talking about. So can you imagine if they added in like the prowlers?
You
in
finally
the WoW
get to
game?
play as a prowler again.
I would be so happy.
You'd probably be
Monster
disappointed because
Hunters.
you're like, damn, even they've done it and Capcom won't do it again. Cowards.
Yeah. So I just don't. Maybe my perspective is different than people, but there's nowhere to go but up. You start at the bottom. Everything could just be a plus. If anything, it's just we laugh about it and be like, yeah, not gonna
Yeah,
work.
that
on
was
mobile.
pretty bad.
Yeah, but yeah, just don't spend money.
That's the
Especially
thing.
at the start.
People have a hard time not spending money on these types of games. It's weird. I don't know what's up with that.
I mean,
Like,
I'm one of them as well. Like I have to restrain myself as well. Like I'll spend money on free to play games. I try to limit it to just one, but like you gotta learn self control. It's tough.
if I do spend money on a free to play game, usually it'd be like, okay, I've gotten so many hours out of this.
Yeah,
what would it
you
have
wanna
cost me if
support
I
it a
had
little.
bought it? Okay, then I'll put in like $40, and that's it.
Yeah.
You get nothing else from me. You get $40, something along those
Yeah.
lines, 40, 30, depending on how much I think it's worth. Like you get the one-time purchase, and then that's it. I'm cutting you off. Done.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not writing it off. I will try it out. Looks fun. So
We'll see.
bring it on. Yeah, that was surprising. I thought I did played a lot better. What I was surprised upon was I wanted to see what device it was running on and how hot it was because like Jesus Christ, like even Monster Hunter now is like, and they were all
It
running on
probably won't
iPhone
even run on
16s.
Yeah, mine
They were
is.
running on iPhone 16s, and they were not like the devices weren't like super hot, and they weren't like waiting for them to cool down before they got the next people in there and everything. So like they optimized it really well. There's no question it's going to be well made.
Mine's a 13. I wonder if I'm able to run that on.
13, Jesus, yeah, probably. Well, then again, they had the on the closed beta, they released some specs, and I think they said like minimum iPhone 12 or something. Like they had really low. They had like really low requirements.
Maybe I will be able to play it. Who knows?
Maybe it just won't have textures on a lot of stuff. It'll just be really. Who knows?
Get like potato mode on my phone. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, that's pretty much all the topics I had.
It's a good time to be a hunter, man. Stuff to look for. Again, I get it. Like, people are upset if they can't play, but we'll just have to wait for the update in the winter. And if they screw the pooch in that, then let your voice be heard loud and clear. I hope they figure it out.
They nailed it. Because Jesus Christ. It's like every time that I'm enjoying the game, I have to always, somebody shows up, it's like, man, it'd be great if I could play the game. And I was like, yeah.
And then when we said that we're sick of hearing it, they're like, well, now you're trying to drown out legit concerns. It's like, no, it's just like,
I'm just trying to enjoy the game.
And like Capcom has said, they will have it updated in December. So before that, no, nothing they do is going to fix it. It sucks, but it is what it is. And they said they're going to try. So
there's been complaints of crashes and stuff since the update, but there's also been complaints of a lot of people saying that RE Framework's not working, which is like a modding thing. So it's like, well, I mean, I don't know if you updated the mods or if you didn't update the mods. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, it's weird times right now. It's weird times.
Yeah.
Really hope that they can get around to.
But hey, if you guys aren't able to play Monster Hunter right now and you're looking for stuff to do, the new Atelier Resiliana Red Alchemist and White Knight, or White Guardian and Red Alchemist is fantastic. It is the best intro game for Atelier games. It is wonderful. Want to
snort some plastic and get addicted to plastic things. That's what I want to do.
Do it.
Make my dollies. That's what I want to do. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of the Third Fleet Podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. There's links to Gaijin's channel down below. Go out there and go watch his Gogmazios video. But for now, stay strong, stay safe,
and happy hunting.